listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
But ultimately, we're going to be judged by our wins and losses, and we understand that. We want to see our guys go out there and play harder than they have ever before. We can judge by the effort we're playing with in between the white lines. And you watch us, are we playing more disciplined than the Razorbacks of past have played? Are we taking care of the football? Are we winning those close games? Are we finding ways to play better at home?
So many times his decisions that he has to come up, and I appreciate him for the strength that he shows, is really he's just making a decision based off what he's told to do by the ADs and specifically by the presidents.
We are not a finished product. We've got plenty to improve upon from last year. It goes without saying, we've got to become a better run football team. We did not run the ball to the standard and the capabilities of what it is at the University of Texas. Now, we can make that better a variety of ways. You got to get better up front as an offensive line group. You got to have capable runners that can do that. You got to provide weapons on the perimeter that people have to deploy to guard against. And you've got to put schemes together that they can operate and do at a high level. I think we've addressed all those areas in the run game. We've got to create more explosive plays. When we're at our best, we're a very explosive offensive football team.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Nail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
We're doing okay. I gotta address the elephant in the room here. Metaphorically.
Oh, holler at your boy.
We need a new EJ head.
Oh, because he's clean face?
Yeah, we're doing our guy dirty over here.
No, I just talked to him yesterday and the day before. I don't know if he ever sees these, but I think it's an ode.
You think so? Because
it's an ode to younger. It's an ode to younger, more knuckly, heady EJ.
I'm just saying he's much better look with the beard.
Yeah,
Much better look. With the
I
beard
think
for
he
him.
would. I think he would concur. God, the gray. I might have to cut some of this out.
Oh, I got gray all over the place, man. It's.
Yeah, I was telling you this morning. I don't know if I'm going to start with any pleasantries because after yesterday, that was rough. So I do need to clarify.
Okay.
I would have wine.
Oh, okay. I
Wine
know it's
is-
not like your go-to.
No, it's in the top. Well, 4.
Tequila, vodka.
Yeah.
What's 3?
Any combination of the previous 2. But
So mine is 3.
sure, but I'm counting when I want to dilute it with like a spritzer.
No, I'm just like any tequila drink, any vodka drink.
Yeah.
And then wine.
Yeah. My buddies, Brett and Leah, they gave us a ton of really good wine, a couple of cases.
Yeah.
Remember, it's the one that got delivered to the neighbor.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Like went to check on it, and they're like, "Hey," we're like, "Hey, did you get a package?" And they're like, "What was in it?" Look, man, did you get it or not?
Yeah.
Not playing that game with you.
We don't got to do that.
Little did I know, 8 months later, you were gonna maul my doggy.
I mean, listen, like
I barely see them now. I hope we didn't cause conflict.
is your name on the package or is it not on the package? This ain't that hard. This ain't rocket science.
Just seemed kind of weird,
I don't even open packages in my own house that aren't addressed to me.
bro. Me neither.
You just never know.
Me, and it's every day. So I'm like, why is there always something on our porch?
Yeah.
And it never has my name on it.
It occasionally has my name on it, but if it's not addressed to me, I don't open it.
Yeah, we used to have this thing. I think we used to call it an accident, where stuff would get ordered and it would be on my Amazon account. So inexplicably, my card was linked to both accounts. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then after like the 7th time of, I don't know why that happens. I connected the card.
Sure. Convenient.
Okay. No, I do feel like we get something every day. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's like Build-A-Bear over there.
just piece by piece.
So if it ain't bears, might be bombs.
Day by day.
Hey man, I saved I thought of you for a second.
Why is that?
Juan, I'm gonna hit you up today, buddy. I don't know if I'm gonna come see you or I'll let you come see me. I got that message. Juan has something he would like to exchange.
Okay.
Maybe it's pleasantries.
Maybe.
I was almost going to let him come over. But then he was like, oh, you could stroll to my neighborhood. And I was like, we'll see.
Aren't you guys in the same neighborhood?
We're close. He lives closer to the water tower.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I mean, what is it? 4 minutes?
Yeah, you're
5?
right there.
I saved 48 seconds. I don't know. I don't know about AJ's hygiene, so I'm not gonna ask him. Shane is more of a 2-in-1 guy.
You got Austin plotting now.
Maybe if we have anybody with like free flowing hair, like Scott,
Yeah.
who's clean shaven, or myself, who has lots of locks. I'm not a big 2-in-1 guy. Like TV VCR or edger trimmer or
I thought you meant
shampoo,
conditioner specifically.
Yeah, so I'm not a.
You don't like combo things?
No,
not a big Pizza Hut, Taco Bell guy.
I just don't think they're typically as good as the standalone.
I think that's certainly true with shampoo conditioner.
Okay, so I did save. I had some of that yesterday, TK.
Yeah, there's a whole theory in the group chat that Lucy misses you because you haven't been going to Costco.
So I'm gonna hit her up.
Okay.
I do need to. So I'm not even gonna hold you. It's been almost.
Has it been since you talked about it?
It's been over a month.
Yeah.
Which is an eternity for me. Matter of fact, I just Instacart plates, paper plates.
Dude,
I had to get to $35, so I
go to Costco, man.
I'm going, man.
It's fine.
I'm going.
He probably wasn't even judging you. He's probably just like, oh, I noticed.
I don't think so.
It's fine. It's fine.
I went back to talk to him. He's very funny.
Yeah,
I know his name too.
It's all good. Just go back.
Just go back. So I saved myself like 38 seconds, but I don't know if I cheated the system.
Okay. How so?
I squirted the shampoo and the conditioner in my hand at the same time this morning. Does that defeat the purpose?
I think so.
Well, I'm not gonna that's what I'm saying. I'm not really taking your word for it.
Well, here's my understanding of the process.
Anybody else with free flowing locks?
So, I mean, you do remember
you let it sit?
You used to have the man bun and stuff. So, like, I had some free flowing
You need
locks.
the 30 seconds to let it sit.
So, I think they are objectively trying to do different things. The shampoo,
I concur.
Takes the oil out of the hair.
Yeah.
It's trying to clean it up, stuff like that. Conditioner trying to put it back.
I haven't put anything in my hair in 20 years.
To do both of those at the same time seems like they would be less
Headley.
productive.
I do. What if it's good for my scalp? That's what the commercials say. I've got plenty of scalp. Headley.
Yeah, I think it's counterproductive. I do also think that it takes a minute for the shampoo and conditioner kind of do their thing. So I shampoo and then I leave it.
Yeah, I
start washing other parts of my body.
I left it,
and then I rinse, and then I do the conditioner, leave it, start washing other parts of my body, and then I try and leave it in there for 90 seconds.
Hey, JB, my 2-in-1s, man. I thought I was being a little efficient.
I mean, maybe. I had
to brush my teeth twice too, so
I know that I feel
like my gums are a little swollen.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got busy. And I was being a little aggressive last night with the pick. I don't know why I can't focus. I was in the show because I didn't want to miss some of the lines. So I was like, but before you know it, I was like, oh man, I think I just cut my nostril. So I had to go back and.
DJ says I'm bald, so I comb my hair with a washcloth.
I'm glad. Wait a minute. Who said that? DJ?
Yeah.
Or no, older David?
Yeah.
I'm glad he uses a washcloth. Good for him.
A lot of
he grew up in a nice, wholesome household.
A lot of people don't.
No, DJ's doing it right.
No, I know.
You need a washcloth.
I'm not saying I don't. I'm saying a lot of people that maybe
I know, and I don't
look like DJ listen, or grew up in the same area as DJ.
We work with a guy, like on this floor.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have all of it almost, not all of it, but
a lot of it.
Yeah. And so he's down on that end. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
We have both wings.
It changed the way I felt about him when he told me about his showering practice.
Oh, was that one of the people that didn't wash the bottom of their feet?
No, that's my coach.
Oh, okay.
But he's since changed.
Okay, good.
He's changed his ways. He said that's one of the things that he's learned from me over the last 6 years. He said, I had a shower. You're in your 30s. That's sad.
Yeah, that's rough.
But this guy
Doesn't use washcloth?
And it's fine. I mean, I'm sure his wife, they do their thing. But there's some washing of the towel practices too that were a little
Concerning.
Yeah. And he's extremely funny. I like talking to him, but I don't know if we can hang out.
Like he doesn't wash his towel?
It was the frequency. And I'm not here to judge. Listen, you guys wash your towels as often or as not often as you want to, but
We mean you guys.
you get over people.
Okay.
No, I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I hope
I'm
this
just kidding.
isn't. I hope this isn't. This
Cultural?
is not a cultural thing.
Yeah, this isn't a washcloth thing.
Although I do think there is a I'm not going to get into that.
Was he a I don't wash my towel washes me type of guy or what?
Yeah. Again, I think you do your thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I think anything more than 3 days of not putting your towel in the laundry is I mean, I think it's as sketchy as you guys think my food storage is, which is impeccable, by the way.
Okay, so here's another important question here. Because you're a multiple time per day shower most of the time, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Most
yeah,
of the, more often
yes,
than not.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Does your 3 days mean like 6 showers?
See, Raider, that's Zach's philosophy.
No, they're not.
That's Zach's philosophy.
That's not
I told you about his whole thing with gravity.
Yeah.
And he's exceptionally bright too. So he's a thinker.
You just not wash anything below your waist or what?
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
Let's get to the question before I dry heat.
So is your towel washing principle based on days or number of uses? Because like your uses in 3 days is going to be higher than most people.
Okay.
Like 3 days for most people is 3 showers. That could be like 7 for you.
That's interesting.
You know what I mean?
So once upon a time, that's very funny you say that. So
Because that was my first thought is we're using it a different number of time in 3 days.
Zoe and Jay's towels
Mhm.
are on a separate wall.
Okay.
I have kind of my own hook.
Okay.
I always wondered why their towels had more shelf life than mine.
Because they're probably doing once a day.
Not so much that it's their hanging. So they have multiple hooks.
Okay.
So sometimes they will stretch them out.
Oh.
I think that's ugly. Like
you don't
does-
like how it looks.
yeah,
It's probably
which is
more effective though.
which is dumb, which is significantly more effective.
Because
So
you're
then I
spreading
was-
out the surface area, it gets more air.
So then I was like, man, I'd ask my mom. I just asked her this probably within the last year. And I bet I've asked her 6 times. Hey, where do you get your towels? Because I do think there's something to the type of towel too.
Yeah, you have to get a high quality towel, especially if you're going to use them that much.
And my mom, like they feel good. They're just she buys. I don't know,
Yeah.
right? She buys the right towel. So, but do you know what I figured out? The main difference is
What's that?
it's frequency.
Mm.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's frequency.
That makes sense. I mean, it's a cloth. The more you use it, it's gonna.
It's frequency. But it's sometimes it seems like so. I have to go quicker because sometimes. DB, are you a one-use towel guy? One-use towel guy.
like
you
you
mean
use
like
it, you wash it?
No, I would say 2 to 3. Certainly not 1. Although which one's your water bill?
Mud.
Okay, my MUD bill
Yeah.
was $4.11.
I would say it's probably pretty aggressive. Yeah, with the amount of showering.
Well, and the sprinkler.
Yeah.
It's $4.11. I was like, that's a car payment.
See, mine's cheaper this time of year because I don't have the heat going because it's water gas together, right? So my OPPD is really expensive this time of year because
My OPPD was like 121.
Really?
128.
I wonder if your house is just like set up better to cool
Man, my basement is
than mine is.
you could hang meat.
Because there's like,
It's not that, Heath. It's not. It's although
it's like
I do work out.
it's like a mental reset for you, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Heath, I get it. But if I like went home and like let's say I have a speaking engagement, it's at 12:30. I would shower again.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ready for something else.
No, I get it. That makes sense.
You know, if I make a mistake and have to use the restroom, I would not a mistake, but I do think in the daytime that's a waste of time. I'm showering again.
A lot of people call those accidents.
You poop your pants?
I think it's annoying. Hey, are you a conditioner guy? You seem to have enough hair when you whip it up there like.
Yeah.
I can't
like
hear you.
Hear you. I don't know what's
Well,
going on with the mic.
that's a local problem.
Oh, this might be a good day. Does that mean we can't hear Rico either?
No, Rico's at home, so we can't hear anybody. Yeah, we'll have to restart during a break to make sure we can hear our guests.
Oh, so do you wash your beard?
Yeah, I have a whole process. I have different stuff for my beard than I do my hair because it's a different
Are you
consistency.
two-hand, you one hair?
You got to get in there, man. I have I use a.
Do you often find cookie crumbles? Old Twinkies?
No, I don't.
Baby ho-hos.
Not a big Twinkies guy.
Do you have potato chip crumbs?
Nah, I'm not a huge potato chip guy
Scoops
either.
residue?
No, I try it every time I
Extra Alfredo.
Ugh. No, God.
The occasional buttery chicken sauce.
But how do you think I'm eating? You think I'm eating chin first? What are you talking about?
Have you not seen Sipple eat? It happens.
No, most of the time you just get maybe a little bit on like the mustache, but then I go to the bathroom and wash off. Basically,
Your margin for error is very small.
Yeah, it's not huge. It's not huge. I get stuff on my beard, but then I go to the bathroom and wash basically every time I eat.
The orifice to hair ratio is it's 1 to 7.
It's hair heavy for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you occasionally swallow hair? Because that's traumatizing.
No, I'm pretty good about trimming up my mustache so you don't like accidentally get anything in there.
Yeah.
Like trimming up the area around the mouth so you don't get any hair in your mouth. Because that is gross.
Yes. Hey, Ken, so what did we raise, AJ? $20? I'm one step closer. I think I'm gonna rock with Ken and go get the food saver one. Was it Ken or KJ? It's one of the K's. I think it was Ken.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go get that vacuum sealer. I'm going through withdrawals, and there were two. I missed another sale yesterday.
Headley says DB just seeing if Ravi does any room temp leftovers.
You guys are going to force me to invite somebody over just for the sake of the experiment. You guys would never know.
Juan, my wife has only seen me baby faced once, and it threw her off. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't recommend you do that.
No, that's not a good look. I mean, the difference between EJ then and now is very similar to the difference between it's a very, very different looking person.
So you guys are cool with the showering thing? Like I that was my shower thoughts.
I think you're right. Like I think a lot of people do not wash their towels frequently enough.
I get the whole jeans thing and stuff like that. People are very weird about that, but I only have 2 pair of jeans, so I don't.
Also, let's be real about what's happening with a towel versus what's happening with jeans. Most people that I'm aware of are not like aggressively drying their junk and beehole with their jeans. So that's a whole different.
I really didn't want to get into this, but I'm not a big.
Oh, you're like an air dry guy?
I mean, it's the same. Okay. So door goes open. I don't step out. I'm here. Like, I'm not that dude. I'm not this dude.
I'll like do I'll do a pat down for sure. Like, I'm not trying to.
I don't really. Nah.
Yeah. I'm not trying to just let it air dry. Like sometimes you got to go, and I'm not going like wet undercarriage into pants. Like that's wet. That's weird. Like sometimes if
your routine's the same though, right?
More or less, but sometimes the time frame is a little bit more abbreviated, so I don't have time to like let it air dry before I have to get dressed.
That thing wet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not going into clothes any bit damp.
Yeah, I'm definitely not an aggressive, but I'm super weird too. Like I've even got Zoe like, hey, try to dry off as much as you can while you're in there.
I do that
Because
I basically have like 3 stages.
there's people in there with excess hair, and I'm just telling you, wet hair is the worst.
It's pretty gross. Wet hair is pretty gross.
It is.
Yeah.
And I know she's like, oh my God, I'm gonna punch this dude in his throat. But I'm like, hey, that's a detachable nozzle. Anytime you see a stray in there, water that thing down. Play a game with it, Zoe. See if you can't get the worm hair to go down the hole.
You're just trying to get her to get rid of it at all costs.
Man, this little girl will be like Wipeout. But like the worst is when it's on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
And so I don't Scott, I So, look, are you that guy? AJ, do you do that? Because that's weird.
Which one? Show me again.
He's a butt flosser.
Yeah, it is. That's what you demonstrated.
Yeah,
something
that's
what you don't
do. Do that?
No.
I don't do that.
No, I'm not a flosser. I'm like I'll pat though. You got to like get the
So what Scott said, I know this is. I don't even know how I got here. It should be a segment. It's just shower thoughts.
Oh well, we have a lower third. We're fine.
My team.
Yeah.
Like when I demo something, like I walk myself through it mechanically because I'm very kinesthetic.
Yeah.
So that's why I do that, Scott. It's just because I have to go through the routine in my head. Remember I tell you how I hurt myself?
Yeah,
I washed my face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have to reenact it so I know.
Yeah.
And I told you I figured out it was my ring that was bruising my nose.
Yeah.
I was in there with Austin. He was cracking jokes. And I laughed and I was washing my face in the sink during one of the breaks. And I was like,
You're like, oh my God.
oh man, that's how that happens. And I told him, I said, my ring is, what did you, he can't talk. So this was just yesterday or the day before.
He's so frustrated with you.
Because I don't want to talk to him in the bathroom.
It's great when he can't talk.
Wait, how can Shane talk and you can't?
It's great. It's fantastic. Listen, no, he's like a mime.
Should we just keep asking him questions?
My man was like,
So bad.
oh, damn it.
No, he's just getting it picked up from Shane's mic. That's not him.
So I was like, what?
Voice can get in that studio. I love it when Austin can't talk.
Yeah, he's getting a little frustrated too.
I know you can't hear me, but this is ridiculous.
And I was like, dang, man, so my ring is kind of loose. Man, I feel like my fingers are getting small. And he said, either would it be too little of salt or too much salt?
Too little salt.
He said something, and I was like, no.
Sodium bloats you a little bit, so your fingers would be tighter. It'd be tighter on your fingers.
Oh, then it was just the opposite.
Yeah,
Am I getting that story right? It was entirely too much talking for two people to have, but it happened, so it's fine. I had to get to the bottom of those kinds of things this morning.
I'm like
I didn't have any philosophical questions. Today was
all practical.
It was protocol.
The
2-in-1 thing was throwing me.
I have like 3 stages of drying off. I'll do initial like shower dry down, like right, you're in the shower still.
Do you get dressed in the bathroom?
No. No, I get dressed. I usually lay my clothes out on my bed.
AJ, do you get dressed in the bathroom?
Can't talk.
Oh, but you can
You can
nod.
nod.
You go yes, no, yes,
Yes.
no.
Shane, do you get dressed in the bathroom? You live by yourself. You walk around stark, whatever. You
Right.
get dressed in the bathroom, Shane?
No.
Okay.
No, I lay my clothes out on my bed, and then I like. So this is the 3rd stage of drying. So I dry once. I like kind of do the initial once over in the shower.
Yeah.
Then I step out onto like the mat, right? So I don't slip and fall and kill myself.
How many mats do you have in your bathroom?
3, I think.
Yeah, we have 3 too.
I think there's one directly in front of the shower.
Is it cloth or is it water absorbent?
Yeah, it's cloth.
Okay.
There's one directly in front of the first sink, and then there's one directly in front of the second sink.
Okay.
So I do the first one.
Anything over by the toilet?
The toilet is right next to the first sink. So
Okay, so it's
like double
2-in-1.
Yeah.
Another 2-in-1.
That one's useful though. So I do the first one in the
Did you pee
shower.
on the floor? What do you mean?
Well, no, I mean useful to like cover area, not like it's not like picking up a lot of debris.
Did you poop on the floor? No, go ahead.
Might be. You never know with like the
That
vomits
ain't
and
wet.
whatever. And then I'll do one like right on the first towel, the bath mat. So that's the second one. And
this
then,
is just every day rhythmically.
yeah, this is just how I dry myself off. I never like I wasn't decided like this is the best way. It's just this is what I found I do every time. And then I walk over to where my clothes are by my bed, and then I like finish drying off, make sure I'm like good to go before.
Were
I put
you
the,
holding water? You retaining water?
I don't know, man. I just want to make sure I'm dry before I put the clothes on. There's like nothing. There's very few things that bother me more than if I'm even like a little bit damp and I put new clothes on.
Oh, I feel like
So it's like a
I
three
soak
stage.
with water repellent. Like I don't get that wet.
Well, I think part of it's a hair issue, DB.
Oh yeah, I have none.
So like I think it gets
Dude,
stuck.
look how. Hey, you guys ready to be like
Yeah, we could,
weirded out?
you know,
Look how the color difference in my arms.
here we'll see. Look at the hair difference in the in the two arms.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
got
crazy.
Listen, I got nothing.
That's what I mean. So like you're probably
Is that a steroid forearm?
hold on, go like this for me. Do you want one of these? Nah, you're okay still.
Okay, good, because I'm not on juice.
That's a peptide forearm though. You're getting close.
Quentin Warren, who will say just about anything to me during his coaching career, because we had
I like you.
very, very blurred boundaries.
Big
We're-
Robin, thick guy, blurred lines.
Bro, we were at practice one day. This was 2 years ago, so he hadn't even really earned the right. Even
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
And we're in individual, and he's like, out of nowhere, he's like, "Damn, Coach Benning, do you shave your legs?" I was furious. I think number one, because it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Because it's offensive. And I was like, "No, I don't shave my legs. Back in the drill." When all of a sudden I was fine again. It's fine. For whatever the reason, I just can't grow hair.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm very hairy.
Yeah,
so
that's mildly disgusting.
I think there's like some water retention though. Like I gotta like get it out of the hair.
You're not a carpet. Let's relax.
I mean, kinda. You know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Sorry, Lee. I had some thoughts, legit shower thoughts. Apologize. Just men being men. We don't do this enough, Lee.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta talk about stuff.
We don't bond over nonsense enough, Lee.
I mean, we do, but other people don't.
There was no real there was no real trauma involved. I haven't been traumatized in a few days.
That's good.
I saw a spider day before yesterday because my Traeger got moved. And so it's
At least it didn't get sold.
hey, I hadn't used it in a year, right?
Mhm.
So I go out there and I was like, I could just put them on the Traeger. I'm not looking for smoke. I just want to cook them, right? It's the outdoor oven.
Yeah.
I thought it was gone.
Really? You thought she like sold it?
Yeah, because you can't see it to the naked eye until you go around the corner.
Yeah.
And not that my dick is like huge, but it's like it's under the window seal.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what happened to the Traeger?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there she is.
No, I see that. Like based on where you like couldn't see it from the back. I understand what you're saying.
He said the show doesn't have enough nonsense. Kobe. All right, we'll do sports. Nobody's having
I
any
guess
fun.
we have to. If you
Nobody's having any fun.
make
We have,
us.
hey, how about this is a statistician Friday. So
What do we got?
Our friend Jimmy Neutron
Oh yeah,
did a deep dive for me.
He came with some facts.
We were talking yesterday. Would you like to reset the stage? Wait.
Well, we probably-
hang on.
Yeah.
I have to talk to Juan one moment. Juan said something. He said, "Just wait, DB. I have a feeling you'll be traumatized." Juan, if you poop in my yard, we're not talking anymore.
Todd and T-Mac, I heard it. I was trying to move on.
What? What did I say?
Your pronunciation of deck left a little bit to be desired.
It's not that my deck is huge. Yeah. What? Oh, listen. I told myself driving home yesterday, I'm not doing the immature thing. I don't know what happened. It got away from me yesterday. We're not doing this.
I'm just.
We're not doing this.
Listen.
I almost melted down yesterday because I let the immaturity take over. We're not doing this.
The Jin thing that we had.
No, we're not. No, that comes up. You guys, we're not doing this.
I'm just saying you may have had a little bit of pronunciation with deck that was
Eck.
Is
that good? Eck.
Untimely with
I
the
did not
phrase that you were using.
It's fine. I know I said it correctly.
Austin, can we pull that just to make sure?
This is what we're on. I thought we had an agreement.
Listen, you said it. Listen, you're doubling down that you said it correctly.
I did.
And so
I did. I feel like I did. Because that word, yeah, okay, it's fine. But I didn't. Nah.
I know that's not a word you say. And so I was just moving on. But like it sounded in real time.
And when I do, it's
not like deck.
It's over exaggerated because I'm like, you're such a like
Richard Hole. You're such a deck. No, you do say Richard more than anything.
Oh God. Well, Choppy kind of came in with a splash this week, didn't
he did. Let's take a quick break here. We're gonna have.
I didn't set what I wanted to say.
Well, we're gonna talk to Austin, and we need to let him reset his stuff before
we were gonna reset it before we took the break to see what Austin's homework was, because this is on the.
Is on the heels of asking the question.
No, you can roll with that, Shane. You're good.
We're
That's
on the heels of asking Bruns about red zone, offense versus defense, defensive third down stops versus punting average.
Punting the ball better.
Like seeing which margins actually are going to make the biggest difference. So we had Austin do some deep dives because this was.
He kind of did it on his own while we were talking.
Yeah, because this is off of yesterday where I brought up how bad the red zone defense actually was.
Yeah, 97% touchdown rate.
Scoring rate, 97% scoring rate.
Yeah.
Second to last in the country behind Rice, who somehow allowed everyone to score every time they got in the red zone, which doesn't even seem possible.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Bigger numbers than you think.
But we will talk to Tim VERGHESE at 8 and then one Stephen M. Sipple at about 9:10, 9:15 after he gets off of his show. That's the lineup for today. But let's take a quick break here. We'll see if we can reset the system and let Austin talk so he can participate in this conversation that he did.
Should be riveting. I can't wait to hear more of Jimmy Neutron.
He did all the work. I'd like him to present it to us.
Okay, it's fine.
That's all. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
Obviously, I'm going to finish out football, and I'm not going to early enroll in December or January. I'm going to finish out basketball and track just because you don't really get those things back, and I think those things are also beneficial for my football career. And then the main thing is because I had broken wrists in track this year, and I threw through the pain, but if I'm being honest, did not throw to like my potential and what I could do. And so I think that having that healthy for track, my goal is to win a state championship. No one in my family has won a track state championship besides my brother's wife, Ashley Carr. She was a beast in high school, but I'm trying to copy after her, win a state championship in track, and then report next June or next May, and then get to work from there.
Are you feeling off, low energy, or asleep? At NextGen Male Medical, we not only evaluate your testosterone, but overall health. Schedule a visit at nextgenmmc.com. Together, we'll get you back on your game.
Ball's inside! Not over telepause! Another shot to
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. Look at that. We took a break in the first hour.
First 40 minutes.
Juan goes, guys, if I'm not in the chat Monday, it's proof DB is a serial killer. He'll probably have me dry aging in his basement.
Wait a minute.
Ooh. And then Scott said, I think he buries the bodies. Scott's your guy too. That's hard.
He is, and he knows how I think. So we'll like talk off, like off the show too. But no, and plus, I would be like a. It's gonna sound horrible.
You don't want those things hanging around.
Yeah, I would be like a no mess killer.
Yeah, you'd be like a clean room.
Yes.
Disposal type.
That's just at first blush. I'm not saying like I spend any.
Yeah, you certainly haven't thought about this to any
I
great
don't
extent.
want anything close to the house.
Yeah. You'd have like a safe place.
Yeah, you probably be in St. Joe or somewhere.
Plastic and all that kind of stuff. You know?
Yeah. I have a liner in my.
So you know what? Let's. I'll let
you know how you can put the inserts in your trunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's plastic.
I'll let you off the hook here, so you don't have to try and explain that one. Rico, can you play the clip? And
this what we're doing?
Audience,
Really?
I just
You
need
thought
she like sold it.
Yeah, because you can't see it to the naked eye until you go around the corner.
Yeah.
And not that my dick is like huge, but it's like it's under the window seal.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what happened on the trigger?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Chat, what did he say there?
Whoa.
What did he say there? One more time, just for
No, I think they can get it. It's under the window seal.
Yeah.
He does. I was like, man, what happened on the trigger? Around the corner.
Yeah.
And not that my dick is like huge, but it's like
just for posterity, chat. Please.
As I said in the text, you 95% said dick.
I just,
he can't help himself.
No, he can't. He hadn't sworn this week yet either, so he had to get one in. He had to. Scott says bragging.
Thank you, JB.
So like above average deck size?
Oh, jeez.
Is that like a?
I just wanted to. You were pretty adamant that you didn't say it, so I just needed to get. I think it's closer than you thought it was.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
I don't know why you're embarrassed. Like you should be proud.
Hate is too strong of a word.
Yeah.
Disdain is pretty close. Like
For that word?
no,
For me?
everybody.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Well, yeah, that's why you have the safe house in St. Joe.
It's not where it would be. As
What do you mean?
I thought we were past yesterday.
It's okay. No, let's.
You know what I love?
What's that?
First of all, you don't get to say it's okay. It's okay is for me to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second of all, you did it. So you don't get to you don't just get to torch the thing, watch it burn, and then be like, oh, no, that's cool. It's just ashes, just a couple ashes.
Everybody loves a bonfire.
No. See, there you go. It's not all inclusive. This is your debauchery. We're trying to bring everybody else along with you.
What?
Oh, one more time in case you didn't hear it.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure everybody heard it.
No, you knew.
For the podcast audience. Would you like to talk about Austin's stats?
Sure. Just be better.
I can't promise that.
Just commit yourself to 15 minutes of being kind, not trying to ramrod me.
Over the course of 3 hours, I think I could do 15 minutes over 3
Just
hours.
baby steps.
Let's see what we can do.
One foot in front of the other. There's not a snowball's chance in heck you could make it.
I could be nice for first 15 minutes of every show. I'll be nice from now on.
Oh, that's great. First 15, huh?
7. Well, listen, we want to set the right tone.
You guys.
Austin, can you speak now?
Wow.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah, we got him back. There we go.
I'm taking him run. I told myself I'm not gonna get mad today.
Okay, so
It's not.
we're gonna reset the show here. All right, that's our reset noise.
Couldn't make it 15 seconds.
I wasn't being mean to you. I wasn't mean to you. I was just trying to reset the show with an audio kind of cleanse there. It's a palate cleanser, if you will.
Yep. Yeah.
Austin,
So on the heels of us talking about statistics of how Nebraska gets better, did you feel like when I asked Bruns the question that it should have been relatively easy? You want to reset?
Yeah. So your question to Bruns was
There was really two.
yes. The first one was third down stop rate
Yes.
to be in the top 50.
Yep.
Versus punting average
Net punting.
to be in the top 30.
Correct.
Um,
And I thought at first blush you would automatically take third down stop rate
yeah, that's the one that feels like the right answer.
until we figured out how.
We're talking about maybe one extra stop a game on third down.
So
You said
do
two.
do you know where I landed the plane?
Where's that?
About 1.5.
Okay. So 1.5 extra stops on third down a game versus 7 yards per punt is basically the real world equivalent of what Nebraska needed to improve by in order to get into those zones.
So jump in if this is correct, A-Train. So when I was talking, Austin was just kind of tinkering around with punts.
Mm-hmm.
And during the break, he was like, wow, I didn't realize we were giving up so few yards punting because it was about 39 yards of air time on average. This wasn't even net punting.
This was just average punting. There was 39 for an overall average is bad.
And I said,
very bad.
Yeah, I said, it just seems like they punted around midfield too frequently. So that kind of set the bar like, okay, special teams. Then he was talking, he was kind of weaving his way through. And I said, would you take more improvement from last year in red zone scoring, as in more touchdowns?
Yeah.
Or red zone defense in terms of not giving them up?
Yeah. And we kind of went from there to the teams that are bad in the red zone defensively are typically bad.
Teams that don't stop the run.
Yes, rush defense teams. which Nebraska was actually better in total rush defense than you would have expected given their struggles in the red zone. But
kind of.
Yeah, they were like in the 80s versus the 130s, right? So
yeah,
like,
because that's the 80s is I'm not saying
good.
It's good, yeah.
Right, but like it was better than you would think given the results in the red zone. So the numbers that Austin came up with here are, because we were curious about like what their average rushing touchdown given up was, stuff like that. So because he came up with this number that they were giving up 2.3 rushing touchdowns per game, which feels astronomical. That seems like an ungodly huge number. But here's what it breaks down to. The average yards allowed per rushing touchdown from anyone was 14 yards per rush touchdown.
It's high, man.
For quarterbacks, that number was 9.2. They allowed 11 in total.
Timeout. That one caught me off guard. So
high or low?
High.
Okay.
So anytime a quarterback scored, which was 11 times, the average distance that quarterback scored on was 9 yards.
Yes. Yeah. The longest one was Bryce Underwood's at 37.
God, that'll bump that. So we're not even talking about quarterback sneaks.
Yeah.
We're talking about scrambling.
Or design
scoring.
run. Yeah.
So here I can run through quick because there was 11. So I won't list all the teams. These are just in order. So they were 7 yards, 1 yard, 37, 16, 1, 16, 1, 2, 3, or 2, 11, and 5.
So all but the Bryce Underwood were in the red zone.
Had to be.
I mean, yeah.
It's QB run game, right? Yeah. Because there wasn't a number bigger than 19.
Yeah.
Outside of Underwood.
Yeah. Which lends credence
if you want the positive.
Well, and also lends credence to my thought on the offensive side of the ball.
That Calandria gives you the opportunity to be better in the red zone.
I think almost definitely instantly improves the red zone conversion on offense.
Which maybe means you don't have to go to like those quarterback kind of wrinkles where you bring in somebody else just to run quarterback sneak that doesn't run quarterback sneaks, because that's an art.
Yes. Like bringing Harburg in to do either quarterback sneak or quarterback run game or whatever, when you all know, like, hey,
he's probably not throwing it.
Yeah, I don't know how many pass attempts he had last year, but I bet it was under 3. I don't think he threw the ball hardly at all last year. And so when you bring that guy in, you're telegraphing what you want to do with your offense. So
that's fascinating. I like the fact, AJ, that you broke that up into length, because that does substantiate the red zone.
Yeah, 100%. And then on the
10 of the 11
were in the red zone.
Were 19 yards or less. The second longest from Underwood's was 16 yards.
Yes, and that was. Do you want to guess who the 16-yarder was? There were 2 16-yarders. The other 2 quarterbacks.
Dampier have one?
Dampier did not have one. His was an 11.
Okay.
One was Aiden Childs. And the other was Jaden Maeva.
Oh, the Maeva one hurt. I should have known that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because it was the bad fit in the run game. We got held with the rules are belly 2, I got Q. Like if my quarterback, this is my rules. It's not.
Yeah.
I just made it up because it rhymes. If quarterback shows me his belly and I'm an edge defender, belly's to me, I got Q.
Yeah.
I want 5 for dive, right? I need 5 inside guys. And that was the Shavers kind of delay where he went down to mesh and couldn't get back out to Maeva, even though he was a free runner hitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he got stuck inside.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So average yards per rushing touchdown, that is more than I thought.
And then with the running backs, it jumps all the way up to 17.2. This is kind of what we thought about last year, where Nebraska was getting gashed for these huge. Well, when the first 6 weeks, what I tried to tell myself was they're pretty good if they weren't so boom or bust. Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of my premise.
And they were for the most part.
Because it didn't seem like they were just getting 5.5 a crack, 5.5 a crack. I don't know why I'm standing, but
it wasn't like 6, 7, 12, 5. Like it was 1, 2, 4, 60. Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, lends itself to that high number as well on 17.2 for the running back, and 18 of those allowed.
That's
so many.
So can I just say something? And I get it. So if I'm I am. If I was their coordinator,
yeah,
what I would be telling myself is this is fixable.
Okay. Well, how so?
Because I'm not discouraged. Because what this is, this tells me that some of it is fundamentals, but a lot of this is schematic.
Yeah. So when I look at this real quick,
like this is fundamentally flawed given, and not that I'm not saying that your coordinator is playing some defense that's never been played before. This right here is missed. This is not knowing my job.
For like the guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is not knowing my job because the number, it's too big.
Well, so on the I look at the 10.
Does that make sense or no?
Yeah. I look at the 10.
You don't have to agree with me.
No, I do. I understand what you're saying. Because I look at the 10 quarterback red zone rushing touchdowns. And to me, I look at that and they go, clearly every coordinator on the schedule saw an opportunity with QB run game in the red zone.
Yeah.
Right? So like that tells me schematic.
Right. So when you see motion and you play so much man-to-man down, which a lot of people do. So that's not novel. Right. We do it too, right? We get inside the 10, like we're locking up, right? We're going to play some sort of match. But when the quarterback moves, that is a recipe for disaster.
Yes.
If you sat Coach Queen down and you'd be like, Coach Queen, why does DB hate playing so much man-to-man?
Because you have to turn your back on him.
And he doesn't. He's like, he doesn't like when guys have their back to the quarterback.
That's why I don't like it. There's two reasons. What did I tell you last year? There are two reasons I don't like playing so much man-to-man. Number one is you turn your back on a mobile quarterback. Do you remember what the second one was?
I do not. Until you say it.
I felt like all the time you are chasing and you're pre-out-leveraged.
Yeah, you don't like that.
You get out-leveraged before the play even starts.
Yeah.
Right? That drives me crazy. And especially the way Nebraska got beat a ton last year, it felt like so many of those long running back runs were because they were getting motioned, out-leveraged before the play even started, and boom, it was over. They never gave themselves a shot.
Well, let me build on why I think it's fixable.
Okay, yeah.
Because what I tell you, playing with a true designated open and close side end and a 4 down. And I'm not saying 3 down is better or worse than 4 down. Omaha West Side is a 3 down team. And we stopped the goddamn run.
Yeah.
Okay. But we're also very clear on setting the what?
Boundary.
Who sets the edge?
Yeah.
Who's pulling up the quarterback? Hey, they're in a 2-by. We're displaced. It can't be my adjuster, inside backer. That's a quick trigger, right? That quarterback gets outside the box. You're immediately out of coverage. You're pulling his ass up.
Yep.
We'll work that 1,000 times. We typically don't give up a ton of scrambles, but your insides have to be confident that they're the trigger guy. If I'm play side inside and my outside is in coverage and I don't get a here call, my ass is on cue. Right? You do it over and over. But when you play so much man, there can be hesitancy when backs flare or guys get leaky or it gets into a scramble drill. It's the Velcro drill, right? It's like, I'm next to the guy that's closest to me. He's mine.
Yeah.
Right? QB is like, oh, bleep. Ooh.
Yeah, like, look at all this room and nobody's looking at me.
Right. So you have to remember, AJ, I told you during the break, red zone defense is a temperament thing as much as it is schematics. So the temperament is of your defense. When they get close, I go to attack mode. It's like that thing is out in space. I go. I pick a spot. I get my ass where it needs to be. You live with the results. What you can't do in the red zone is be tentative because you're chasing.
Yeah.
You have to do the dictating. So I think.
Well, you have no margin, right? You have zero margin to wait.
So going from a 3 down to a 4 down, it isn't because you can teach the 3 down. I just walked through that, right? But it takes
a little simpler.
I don't know about simpler because what you give up in 4 down is, depending on how you use your nickel, is you're a lot more susceptible to meshes because you have one less middle fielder.
Sure.
You have one less low hole guy, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So
Because you're moving a linebacker for a big, like you have one less guy that can
for a guy that can put his hand in the dirt.
Yeah.
But what you gain is
a little easier set the edge,
cleaner edges.
Yeah.
Right. So it's you have to understand low hole high, or like who's my intermediate guy on the second level versus like who's deep hole, and you have to be able to pass off coverage. Right? Because we're not in that 4 down, you're not chasing anything inside. If that thing crosses your face, I'm not doing this biting inside. I'm gonna sit my ass down and know that it's leaving me. Hey, in. Give an in call.
Yeah.
It's coming to the next guy. I better hold because I guarantee you something's coming.
Yeah. Which I prefer that because I'm not chasing. I don't like chasing.
Either can be, and you don't have to. You don't necessarily have to chase. I can bump, I can slide, I can rotate, I cannot move pre-snap.
Yeah.
Right? I can move my 2 safeties, and you may not know what I'm doing.
I'm okay with a bump. I can live with a bump.
Right? So there's multiple ways to skin the cat, but I just think
what I'm hearing though from you, like in terms of Nebraska specifically last year, is there was in order to do that well, in order to play with 3 down linemen, to set the edge well, and then to fill the gaps from the second and third level, you have a lot of guys that A, have to be communicating well, and B, have to know exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
And it seemed like that was the breakdown last year, is you had guys that maybe didn't communicate well enough from line to second to third level, and guys that were not super confident in what they were supposed to be doing on line to second to third level.
Yeah, and we would have these fascinating conversations with like Michael Rose-Ivy and some of these guys. Sometimes it was Foreman when we could steal them, where if I'm not setting the edge in the initial box,
like the initial push,
you're lengthening my run for everybody.
Yes.
My insides have a longer run. My safeties have a longer run. The key to any good defense is you want to shorten
the distance
everybody's run. That means if I'm an open or close side end and I set the edge
in a 4 down,
down, my insides, even though I have one less, doesn't have to run as far.
Right. Because you've contained things to the point where they can take boom straight line.
Yeah. If my edges are set and it's cleaner, I'm not am I an alley or a crease guy from
safety spot?
The safety spot.
Yeah, which is a long run.
It's a longer run.
That means you have to know what you're doing sooner and make your decision faster.
So hear my heart. I'm not saying
4 down bad, good, 3 down bad.
That's not what I'm saying.
Because there's obviously a reason you would do each.
Right.
That's the point I want people to make sure they understand from what we're talking about here. Like, yes, for what ailed Nebraska last year, 4 down might be the fix for that.
Yeah, and it's easier too. If I want to get in some sort of underfront to get to 4 down from a 3 down, if I want to bring an extra guy, and you see MJ Sherman get on the line late, or Jamari Butler get on the line late, if I play that way and I'm in a true 2-point, I better be able to set the edge, which is why when you lose guys like that that are experienced.
You just named 2 guys that were better at that 2 years ago than anybody on Nebraska was last year.
Yeah, so it matters.
Yeah. And those were 2 guys that you talked about. Because I said, hey, like, you're not losing a ton of sack stuff like that. You're like, yeah, but you're losing 2 guys that know how to set the edge.
Yeah, that was a very passionate discussion.
Yeah.
Right? Because people just look at stats and production and they're like, oh, not that big of a deal. And I was like,
those 2 guys were really good at doing their job.
Those guys do a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah, they were really good at doing their job that allowed everybody else.
I mean, you got a 240-some pounder in Sherman.
Big guy.
That can get down into the box and really set it.
Yeah.
And you saw Nebraska really try to implement that early, especially against Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Right? They show you 3 down and boom, here comes the late show.
But they just didn't have a guy.
But that guy can't get displaced. Or you saw it against Penn State where it'd be a late guy to show, and then all of a sudden he gets strung out.
Yep.
And it's like, oh shoot. My box went from a 2x2 to a 2x6.
And now I've got really long runs.
And now you got ways to run, and you got backs at Penn State that can get
they can get busy on the outside.
Yeah. It's just no edge set.
Let's take a quick break here. We've got Tim VERGHESE coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
I would say Creighton Prep. They always had a tough little gym. The VERGHESE or whatever they was called. They was tough. Honestly, there was a lot of schools in Omaha. I would say Omaha North is a sleeper gym. West Side. Right here, West Side, I gave them 40 my freshman year. So I think that was a sleeper gym for sure. I think I averaged like 30 in that gym. I think that might be the best gym in Omaha for real. I gave them 30 each time. We beat you in the holiday tournament the very next game, so it's all good.
If losing weight is harder than you expected, it's not just about willpower. At Next Gen Male Medical Clinic, we build a supervised plan around your body, not someone else's. Schedule a visit at nextgenmmc.com. Let's get you moving forward.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Tim VERGHESE from inside Nebraska. Tim, how are we doing this morning?
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Tim, we're just nerding out.
And we're talking a little ball.
It just I don't know if you got a chance to hear any of that last 15 minutes, but just talking philosophy. If you guys could, AJ, pop those rushing stats up. TV, of these numbers, which of these surprises you the most?
So for our podcast listeners, we've got average yards per rushing touchdown given up by Nebraska last year, 14 average yards allowed by rushing touchdowns by a QB, 9.2 out of the 11 allowed, and average yards per rushing touchdown by running back, 17.2, 18 total allowed. And what we figured out, Tim, was that only one of those quarterback rushing touchdowns started outside the red zone.
That was Bryce Underwood. He had the 37-yard run.
The next longest is 16.
19.
16?
No, it's 16. Yeah,
16,
they're
yeah.
two 16-yarders.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean the rushing the rushing touchdown by RB, I think, is the one that surprises me.
The length or the number?
I think the number.
18?
Yeah.
Is that higher or lower than you thought?
Higher, but it's not far off. It's not far off at all. Like it just it's that. I mean, and obviously, like I mean, off the top of my head, like that number two, it's interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
I was saying, TV, to me, these stats to me don't say, oh, we need to get bigger. This says to me, when the numbers are this big, it's either not believing in the scheme or not knowing assignments. Like the numbers are too big. And I think the guys think I'm crazy because if I'm looking over this and I'm coming into a new year, I'm thinking, ooh, this is fixable. Like I'm not discouraged. And I know that may be oxymoronic or contrarian, but I'm like, this is guys not trusting in what they're doing. That's what that tells me. And when you give up that many QB run game touchdowns inside the red zone, that's schematics.
That's the schematics, and that's a tackling and space issue, which is not necessarily a front issue. That's hey, can the second and third, like what is the stopping ability of guys at the second and third level? And I mean, we saw that last year. It was pretty questionable.
Tim, when you're
that's
good, fair.
That's fair. That's a good distinction.
When you're talking about tackling at the second and third level, though, because I want to get into sort of the weeds on this a little bit. How much of that is, hey, because I think we hear this, it's like free throws in basketball. People have a bad free throw percentage. Like, well, shoot more free throws, right? It's not always how you fix that situation. When you're talking about tackling in space, I think everybody thinks like, oh, you just need to tackle more in practice. People have gotten too soft. They don't tackle it.
It's a confidence thing.
How much of it is a confidence thing for you? How much of it is a guy is not either being put in the right spot or getting himself to the right spot to make that tackle easier?
Ooh.
So one more time, babe.
So how much of it is when you're struggling to tackle at the second and third level? Because I think this goes back to something that we talked about before Tim came on. How much of tackling at the second and third level is guys not being put in the right space to make that, or not putting themselves in the right space to make that tackle more manageable?
Interesting. I mean, the real answer is it's a little bit of both, but I think I would always put it more towards the player because
it's a mindset. I agree.
It's a mindset. It's a confidence thing, and I also think it's a from a pure skill set standpoint. Like you have to. I've been thinking about this more and more actually this summer. I think a lot of times, and I can't obviously it's been something I've been discussing with different people, but what I'm trying to say is I can't take all the credit for this idea, but what I'm trying to say is football a lot of times we do a lot of stationary drills, we do a lot of this and that, and that's not what tackling in space is. Tackling in space is reacting to active motion and active, everything's moving around you and you have to be able to put yourself in that situation. You can drill that as many times in live ball reps as you want. And, you can teach that guy the scheme all you want. Ultimately, it's up to that guy within that scheme to put himself into that position based on what he's seen in practice and what he believes. Let's say he's defending a run. How does he believe based on what he's seen on tape and what he knows about this player? How is this running back going to react to the traffic in front of him? Is he going to bounce outside? How are you going to fill your gaps? Are you going to be able to square up with that guy in space? I think it ultimately comes down to the player because, like DB mentioned, it's a confidence thing. And two, as much as you can teach a guy, I mean, even last year, look, on paper, you ask, Rob Aurich, you ask guys, in that staff, maybe on paper, hey, the fits were sound, but were the guys getting to the spots necessarily? Not, it was questionable. So that I think it is ultimately on the player. But it's on the player, and I think a lot of times when the reason why guys struggle to tackle in space, and why we don't see that. It's a physicality issue. It's a confidence issue. And it's I've seen this a ton in practice, but it's always been static. It's always been, I'm just running up and tackling a guy straight up. I'm not having to react to live information. I'm not, you have tackling drills where it's just you're running straight up on the guy. You're never going to do that in tackling in space. You're going to have to square up. You're going to have to adjust your movement at the last minute. You're not going to get the perfect launch angle. You have to be able to have stopping ability regardless of that. And the guys that are best at it are the ones that can adapt to those real-time situations and contort their body, adjust the power, and create that again, that thumb in that moment.
It's interesting. I go back, and this is youth, but I'm gonna start with the mindset because it's a confidence thing.
Confidence in your read.
2 years ago or 3 years ago, it's a youth game. It's 7th, 8th graders. It's first and goal. They had the 2 penalties set back, first and goal from like the 2. Called a quick timeout. It's on the line. The game's on the line. I'm like, look, this is a mindset. When you're one-on-ones, we made up kind of a defense. We went to a 6-man front. Never coached it. Never played it. Just quick dry erase board. Put a guy in a gap. Win your battle. Like they're not getting in. Right. First 2 plays, they don't get in. Everybody starts to get excited. Next play, they don't get in. Start to get excited. It's 4th down. It's like they're not getting in. Right. And those are kids. That isn't, hey, we've repped this bear front for 6 weeks. We're ready to go. It starts with a mindset. If I'm going to tackle guys in space or have a not my guy philosophy, hey, not my guy. Like anybody else out here can make a play, but not my guy. Like if I'm really teaching my 1 of 11, I'm telling you guys, the more we walk through this, it's a mindset. When you get in the red zone, Coach Parker walked me through this. This is probably 3 years ago about, he had studied when they pressure, how infrequently they pressure, but why they do the majority of their pressures inside the 20, right? They weren't a high pressure team. It's 28, 29% of the time with bringing extras. But of that percentage, like 70-some% was inside the red zone. And I remember just kind of in passing, he said it's a mindset thing for us, right? When they get in the red zone, that's high alert. Red means that's high alert. Offense calls it green because they want to get paid, right? Like your mindset has to change, and I think that's where it starts. It's playing with confidence. That's why I liked when you said you added on to the scheme thing in the red zone. You're like, hey, that's confidence. That's getting to where I need to be in space. That's I'm gonna make a play because I think we overthink that. And that's not to say, TV, that if you're not comfortable in the scheme, it's hard to be confident. Like I get that too, right? If I'm unsure of what I'm doing, it's like
one goes into the other for sure.
Right?
Like one has to lead to the other.
So I think the question I was asking was the difference between what you guys are talking about in terms of I'm unsure in my scheme, so that makes me not confident in my fit, in my ability to go up, make a tackle, and all that, versus what we were talking about earlier of, hey, because of how we've chosen to play this or because we're getting beat in some of the ways that we've chosen to play this, I have to run a very long way before I even have the opportunity to make a tackle.
You guys remember 2 years ago, Illinois coming here?
Yes.
Okay. Illinois scored on the same concept.
A little wide receiver screen out to the...
Yeah, whether they put a number 1 wide receiver in the backfield, whether it was an extra lineman playing as an eligible receiver, and then it was just the third time it was like conventional. It was all the same concept. That's based on scheme. They knew how Nebraska was playing it. They
saw something they could exploit.
It was something that they could exploit. They did it on both ends. They scored once on the south end and they did 2 on the north end. And I'm like, they're not communicating with one another in those condensed sets, right? You don't have a guy that's wearing an ineligible number report as eligible and it not get your attention and he still scores without, you don't understand the concept.
Yeah.
Right. That's an alert situation. Right. And Illinois did it 3 times. That's different, in my opinion, than like say last year of quarterbacks that can make hay in the red zone. That's because there's 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's confidence.
That's confidence. Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're different.
Yeah.
If you agree with that.
I do. And yeah, like I think when you put that question that way too, Ravi, like from a pure scheme standpoint too, defensively, you have to obviously you have to keep adjusting things, but it ultimately comes down to the players to make plays. I mean, again, you can talk time and time again how many times going into a game the defensive coordinator feels confident in the scheme. Ultimately, it's on the players to execute. How many times last year we felt Michigan? We'll go back to Michigan. How many times on paper, or even you see it play out, and you're like, "Oh, Nebraska has the right fit," and then it's like, "Oh, a guy didn't make a play," or a guy didn't get there fast enough, and it's like, okay, like the scheme is right, the idea of the situation is right. And then the moment comes and we're not confident enough to make the play, or we don't put ourselves in position to make a play. It comes down to the player, comes down to the confidence, comes down to the mentality. I'll say this. I mean, at the high school level too now, I really start to look for, it doesn't matter the position anymore. I really start to look for that tackle and space ability. Even if you're an outside corner, outside corner is the one place where I'm like, okay, I can let this go if I trust you enough in coverage, but I'm looking for this at every single level at this point. Like you have to have a certain level of stopping ability, and I factor that into, when I say stopping ability, that's thump. That's the ability to create consistent thump. That's the ability to again, regardless of your body position, push a guy backwards. When you hit a guy, he's going backwards. He's stopping in the point. So it's a force thing. It's a confidence thing. It's a thump thing. It's a body power and explosiveness thing.
No, it's interesting. And this isn't the main bulk of this talk, I think, for the last day and a half, oddly enough, is to provide encouragement, right? Because what I think happens is we either haven't, let me just get to the point. We look at something and we see it last year or some other time, and we assume because it's a lot of the same things or same people, it's a cause for concern again. And it may be. I'm not discounting that. My goal, our goal in going through these exercises of last year is it's fixable, and we're trying to give the practical ways on how it's fixable. Like, it doesn't have to be, just because it once was, doesn't mean it's always going to be, right? Like, you can get better within that framework. Like, do you see that as we kind of process through the nuances of some overall gaudy numbers? Because it's not encouraging to look at the numbers, but when you drill it down, do you get the sense it's fixable?
Yeah, I mean, again, what have we been talking about? It's confidence, it's stopping ability, it's ability to make plays in space. I believe in Owen Chambliss and Dexter Foster's ability to do that. I believe in Vincent Shaver's ability to do that opposite a guy like Owen Chambliss. I've seen it from Dwayne McDougall. I've seen it from Jason Shiggs.
Dawson Merritt's in that discussion.
Dawson Merritt absolutely in the discussion, and I think so we've seen these guys do that. They have the thump. They're smart. I mean, Chambliss in particular is smart enough where I think the addition of Chambliss alone, like we talk about confidence and making sure guys are in the right position to make plays, it helps to have multiple guys in Chambliss and McDougall on the field that know where the guys are supposed to be on the field, in addition to the coaching staff pretty consistently, despite this being a new scheme. And then, it comes down to, they're switching to a 4-2-5 front, which I've heard you guys talk about this week. And in general, I think it's a better move for a lot of the guys on the front. And I think it's a better scheme fit for them. And I think ultimately it's going to help them out. It's going to, and what that's going to do for the second and the third level is open them up. It's going to give them, and it all builds up on each other. A lot of this is going to depend on, we were talking about fixability and confidence. For a lot of the veterans and the guys that are returning in this defense, I think DB, is it fair to say they're probably looking for results over the first few weeks? Like, they're looking for, we're in a new scheme. What does this look like? Like, is this actually work in real time? And if they see evidence in those first few weeks, non-con early in the conference schedule, that confidence is going to build. Those guys are going to play harder and they're going to buy in even more, I would say. I think there's a general level of buy-in, at least from what I've understood. There's a general level of buy-in into Aurich's system and what he's doing. But you want to get the guys on board, you start producing results.
Yeah, it's fascinating because to your point about kind of the confidence thing and feeling good, the first incremental thing that I saw was when I joked about RVP. Remember in the spring, and I was like, "Oh God, you look like you're 6'7" and not 6'5." Like I've told this story like 10 times, right? I was just joking because instead of like shoulders rolled forward, head down, he just was like a little more upright and bouncy, and I could see his eyes, and he's kind of smiling, or a Tyson Terry or Stout. Some of these guys that are just like, they're still learning scheme. Soa Lafotu, right? Pet Shock. And it's the confidence started, or the body language changed, because I think they're confident in what they're being asked to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're making it just about fundamentals. Heavy hands, pad level, via the neck. It sounds all like basic, but when you're not so much worried about, hey, if I'm head up in a 2, am I read like, no, still get your ass in A gap. You can line up in a 2, just get to A gap. Like just little nuances like that, as opposed to, hey, if he bases me, make sure you get your head and play peekaboo on the inside and don't give up. Like you can play both, you can't play it all. And so when you just drill it down and say, just do this, even though I'm still the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're only asking me to do one thing, or just do it like this, like it can change the way that I function. Like that's anybody, right?
I think a lot of like pass rush play and D line in particular, I think we often get so in the weeds on pass rush play and making sure you have this. It's at Adapt Scale on Twitter, but just put up a whole cut up of JJ Watts. I think it's 2014 season. Yeah, 2014 season. Every sack, every QB hit he had. Go back and watch that if you can. It's not there's not a whole lot of defined pass rush moves in there. You don't see a super refined pass rush plan, but you know what you do see? The first 3 steps, vertical, consistently. He's getting vertical off the snap. He's creating bend. He's creating leverage. He's using his length, to drive. He's able to turn speed to power. If you can do those things, if you can turn speed to power, if you can bull, if you can bend a little bit, and you just show the ability to create verticality and pressure consistently, it doesn't really matter where you're at I would say that, we talk about guys on the roster. Tyson Terry is just kind of a mauler, you know what I mean? He's a good player and he knows what he's doing out there, but he's someone who you ask him to get in there and ask him to own some double teams or just drive his one-on-one backwards. He's going to do that pretty consistently. I've seen that from him. Obviously, we got to see what this looks like at the power 4 level, but he's a guy he's someone who you give him an assignment, he's going to react and adapt. And I think obviously he didn't get time last year. I think a lot of times what we saw last year, and I'm not gonna say specifically names, but I think there were guys at times last year where you could almost see them pre-snap kind of working through what they wanted to do and how they wanted to get the quarterback. And they're so busy trying to focus on that. That it's like, no, dude, just take the sidestep and crash. You're quick enough. Like they've given you enough. The offensive lineman overstep. Don't focus on the pass rush move. Just focus on getting to the backfield.
Tim, when you're looking at the defensive line this year, do you think there's 2 kind of projections I need you to make here. Based on what you think Nebraska is going to ask them to do you think that's a good fit of their skill sets on the defensive line, like DB was talking about, of, hey, if I'm asked to do this one thing, like, do you think that one thing they'll be asked to do fits the skill sets of the guys they have well?
I think so. I think I can pinpoint and I can look across and say, okay, here's what they're going to be asking RVP to do versus what they're going to be asking Jasir Whittington to do. I think Williams and Mornari is in very much in position to benefit because last year I think he needed someone to just slim things down for him and just focus on one thing and be able to just own an assignment. there are a few hybrids in there that I'm curious about how they fit in. Cam Lenhart, I think I'm really interested to see what that looks like here. I'm really interested to see with Gabe Moore, like what they ask of him. And then you have guys, I think, like Malcolm Simpson, who can do a little bit of a couple things. I'm very curious. I think Dylan Behrman, more of a shade, going to be someone you ask to just occupy some blocks. But I think he's athletic enough. He's shown the quickness, I think, to potentially working at 3 as well. Though I wouldn't love that for him. So there's a few of the guys in there. I'm curious how they fit in, but yeah.
Speaking of hype, like to your point, I'll give you one. Like, let's say Jashir Whittington, right?
Yeah.
270 pounder is really.
He posted a weight update last night. He's 275.
Yeah, he looks sensational, right? You could tell he's got good tools. And I use him because of that video. So just imagine him as not playing in a 4 or on a tackle where you're kind of giving up your leverage, right? Everything you do has to be an inside move from a 4 versus being like an open or closed side end where I know I'm either setting the edge or I'm getting vertical. That 270 goes from, maybe a little undersized on a tackle to, pretty thick out there as an edge setter, right? Cam Lenhart looks bigger as a closed side end than he does playing in a 3 on the outside shoulder of a guard. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying they need to get super remedial and only ask guys to do one thing. What I'm saying is body types are more advantageous the more specific you get. 270 is a big end. 270 is an undersized tackle.
Right.
That's what, like, the movement of 4 downs can change for you in a defense.
Right, for sure. And yeah, like they've talked about this of hey, there's going to be certain packages where it's the best 4 pass rushes out there, and yeah, would it surprise me if it's like that's Jasir maybe at you know what I mean, like or whatever, like it's interesting to me how that plays out. There are a few of those hybrids in there that I'm curious how they work in, how they fit in.
Like Petchak would be one of those, right?
Petchak for sure.
He would be one of those guys.
Yeah, McGahee.
Petchak to me is a guy who I pencil in as an end, but I can see him moving inside because he's so powerful and he can shoot gaps.
Like in a pass rushing situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you see the best use case for McGahee? I find him sort of fascinating now.
In a similar deal, but I wouldn't love him bumping inside in a pass rush situation, just because of the lack of length, especially compared to like a K. Like if I'm picking and I'm like, okay, we need our best 4 pass rushers out there. We need to kick Cade inside, put Williams out there. I think Willis is coming off the field, but he's, to me, yeah, like I'm trying to even think, like,
how about Winari on an end where you don't have to worry about a tackle tight end combo or tight ends coming down on you, where you get to be an open side end and get after the passer. Like same guy, same skill set, just playing to his strengths, right?
Right.
That's kind of what you're talking about.
Right. And I even think with Willis, like, for me, when I think about Willis, it's always playing off of somebody, whether that's a Williams, whether that's a George. It's someone with length. It's another end with length, and I think that's the best way it works. It's kind of why I see him kind of rotating behind like a Cam, just because I think those guys are a little more. They give up a little more from a length standpoint, but. I think they're both powerful enough. The question would be with Willis, because I think we've seen this in spurts from Cam, where I think I can trust Cam on assignments to, set an edge if asked. I don't know if I know that about Willis just yet.
Tim, do you have like a schematic preference, not for Nebraska specifically, but just when you're watching football, when you're evaluating stuff, like, are you somebody that's like, yeah, I kind of do prefer 4 down over 3 down? Obviously, each have their own benefits and weaknesses and whatever, right? But have you kind of landed on like, I don't really love running a lot of man, or I prefer a 3 down? Like, is there Have you like started developing some personal preferences on what you just like to see?
I go back and forth on the 4 versus a 3, and if I were to run a 3, or if you were to run a 3, I'd want it to be like a tight front, you know. I think I prefer a 4. Um, a 4 down front, that's just an even front in general, and then so much of it for me just comes down to like personnel. Like it's so much of it is you have to be willing to adjust to what you have, and the players you have. I go back and forth on it. I know for a fact I want, and this is just where it is. I want 5 DBs out there, and I want 3 of them to be really good tacklers. I want my linebackers to be athletic, and I want them them to have different skill sets. I don't want 2 coverage linebackers out there. I want a coverage linebacker, a guy that's stronger in coverage. I want a guy that's stronger in run D. And then I know I would say I have more of an idea of, and this is also just my brain and how I think about football. I'm more of a position by position basis, and so for me, and it's always so individual. I have an idea of what I'm looking for at every single position, or what my ideal type is at every single position. But how that all fits together, I couldn't give you a firm like, okay, and in an ideal world, this is what the scheme would look like if I had all 11 of the guys I wanted in all 11 of the spots. But I know what all 11 of those guys would look like, and the ideal body types I'm looking for, the ideal traits I'm looking for. How that all fits together is where I'm like, that's the next step for me in my learning and understanding and developing of the game is, I feel like I have a very good base understanding of most like modern defensive schemes, but understanding from a nuanced standpoint, for me, I've always been more of a defensive backup guy. I've always been more of a safety guy. So I don't see things as well in the box. I don't understand things as well in the box, because that's never been my forte, but I know what I'm looking for in the box. I know what the skill set I'm looking for in the box, but being able to like that stuff for me is stuff I'm challenging myself to get better at and learn more of.
That's why I like talking to you. Listening to that in terms of in the run game, and to take this all the way back to fitting in the red zone, because you left out corners, and I think what happened to Nebraska a lot because of how the coverage was dictated, playing so much man last year. And I'm not down on man. It's just you better understand crack replacing and things like that. But corners, teams, I think, put Nebraska's corners, and in particular sometimes the nickel, in those condensed sets, right? And then you'd motion. They're going to put, if you was watching film last year, they're going to put those secondaries, those edge guys in the fit, right? They're going to make corners and nickels tackle and linebackers cover, like, because that
was the first thing. Yeah, that was the first thing that jumped off to me on when I was watching Aurich's stuff, was how involved the DBs are in the nickel is pretty consistently, and that's why we talked about this all spring going into it, of how I felt it was real important that they address that position and find the right guy for that, because that guy plays and every defense, obviously the nickel guy is someone you trust and play to certain extents, but knowing what I know about this defense, what we saw last year, it had to be a guy that can tackle, or they trust to tackle well in space.
All right, Tim. So I want to ask you this question here. We were talking about it yesterday with Michael Bruntz regarding what you would prefer in terms of improvement in certain areas for Nebraska. And DB started it with third down stop rate versus net punting percentage. And for third down stop rate, Nebraska was, I believe, 75th in the country last year at around 40%. That,
statistically speaking, Tim, you ideally you'd like to be in the low 30s.
So DB asked, hey, would you like Nebraska to get into the top 50, which is about
37%.
37%. It's about a stop and a half more per game. Or would you like to be in the top 30 in punting, which would add about 7 yards per punt to Nebraska's average? Just based on those two things right now, which do you think?
Are you going to okay?
Well, I'll give him the more stats on the punts here in a second. Okay. But which do you think would be more beneficial just off the rip?
Oh, a third down for sure. You take as many opportunities with the ball as you can.
more so than putting the other offense in a worse position.
Yeah, I think I like the game is about stealing possessions and getting as many possessions back as possible. Giving yourself as many chances to score. Like I think the chances to score and the opportunity to get an additional possession or additional 2 possessions per game, over again creating a little more cushion for my defense.
Let me. I'm gonna bring in Jimmy Neutron here or Austin Jacobson here. So Tim, we just been because I think that's the initial response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you, at first blush, you realize the lack of consistency in the punt game last year with Nebraska from a field position standpoint, right? Listen, Jimmy Neutron, share some of the statistical data from Nebraska punting.
So Nebraska's average starting punt position last year was at their own 34-yard line. They averaged 39.4 yards per punt, and that had an average opponent starting drive position at the opponent's 26-yard line.
What about because Nebraska punted in an inordinate amount of time on their side of the 52? Did you do the averages for the average punt when Nebraska was on the plus side?
I can get that. Yes, I don't have it with me right now.
Anecdotally, what are you seeing that distance at? Is it in the 20s?
Oh, are you so when Nebraska is in the opponent side?
Yes.
Yes. Just a quick guesstimation. It's probably just at about 28 or 29 yards. Yeah, for an average.
That's kind of staggering, Tim, because that means when you have the ability to pin opponents deep or punt the ball. And listen, Bruntz also he was very smart. He's like, I said, because what would another year in the program? Who would that help? And he started with Arch, just because first time playing football, the environment, like they got to punt the ball better. You're in America, you're away from home. Like if they just get better in that aspect of punting, it would dramatically change the temperament of how you want to play. Because not only is it deflating when you're always getting to the plus side of the 50 and not doing anything with it, it's also can be emotionally deflating when you punt the ball and it doesn't get the desired outcome that other teams are doing to you when they pin you deep. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's fair. I still think my mentality is on the stealing possessions, but I get it. I think that's an area Nebraska needs to improve at. And it's something for me where, you see you're in a conference with good punters with who pin, who can pin. I'd like to see Nebraska take advantage of that. But I don't know. I think because it goes both ways. Of if you're stealing those possessions, if you're getting more of those stops, you're also effectively, again, like if you're creating 1 to 2 more stops, at least on paper, I would assume your field position battle, you're also winning the field position battle for the most part.
Okay, let me ask you the second part of the question now, and that is, if you had to improve red zone offense or red zone defense for Nebraska, which do you think has a greater impact on winning? Nebraska was
stats here?
Nebraska was second to last in the country in red zone defense. They allowed points on 97% of the trips inside the red zone, second only to Rice, who somehow allowed everyone to score every single time they went into the red zone last year, which again seems impossible, but that's the number. So 97%, 135th in the country. On their red zone offense, they were top 30 in the country getting into the red zone in terms of trips.
So they get there a ton.
And then I got to grab the number for you real quick on conversion. But that's what I have on the.
They're 97. They were 97th in the country in terms of scoring just touchdowns.
Yeah, I was trying to get the overall points percentage here. If you can buy me a second.
Yeah. So Tim, like at first blush, you're thinking offense or defense before you get the actual data from a year ago.
How much of an improvement are we talking?
So Nebraska
this is very Bruntsian.
Nebraska was 47th in the country in getting points in the red zone.
Okay.
86.67. They were 97th in the country in getting touchdowns. So let's say they go from 97th to top 50.
Yeah, so we won't be too optimistic.
And that gives you approximately between 2.5 and 3.5 more points per game. Per game into the red zone.
Okay. And then on the how much are they jumping? I'm trying to think how much they would jump that correlative jump on the defensive side.
Let's get them into the top 50 again. Aurich, for what it's worth, Aurich was number 13 last year in red zone scoring.
So it was really hard to get in the red zone against San Diego State last year.
Yeah, they were 5th in red zone trips, and they were 13th once you got there in letting you score.
So I think Nebraska's going to.
Let's go top 50 for red zone defense as well.
Okay, got it. So first off, I think Nebraska's going to improve in both these metrics this year, just off having a dual threat quarterback on the offensive side of the ball, having Rob Aurich, who again this is his scheme. He knows it. He knows his answers in the red zone. Like we talked about plenty. He's got guys that know the system too in that defense. There's going to be a learning curve. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as some people think. I think the bigger jump, I think the defensive jump is so much bigger, and just from they're getting from where they were at to top 50 in the country there. I think that's so much bigger. It like from a pure point standpoint, I think that creates more of an advantage for Nebraska, and that's just me doing the really bad math in my head off the dome. But no, because it's a tough question because if they're just scoring more, if the scoring rate improves, but not necessarily the touchdown rate, I don't know if I love that as much as I love they're keeping them from scoring, and they're making that significant jump in the red zone where they're straight up keeping them from scoring or keeping them out of the end zone.
So
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. That does make sense. For kind of reference here, Indiana was 44th in the country in red zone defense last year. They allowed scores on 81 or 82% of. So we're talking 15%, but we're not talking Toledo only allowed scores at all in 68% of their red zone trips. So we're not talking about an unreasonable jump defensively. Is that how you would put it?
I would say that, yeah. That's not if you're trying to get up to top 50, it's not unreasonable. It's what we've all talked about. It's this defense's ability to play with confidence, to turn it up in the red zone, and again to have better stoppers at the second and third level, be able to create pressure up front. I believe they have the ability to do that. It's going to be a thing of we can wait and see. I think if we're talking pure personnel and we get away from the numbers and we just talk what I think about the guys on the team, I think I believe more in this offense's ability to score more in the red zone than last year's offense than I do with this defense's ability to create more stops in the red zone compared to last year's defense. And that's just a result of having a dual threat quarterback, a result of having an improved offensive line. I heard you all talking earlier this week too about running backs and the difference between a bell cow and a group of backs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the simple and how Nebraska wants to play. I think the simple answer is if you're getting the offensive line play you think you're getting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. Although, could I sell you a bag of beans on if you think tempo has anything to do with it with regards to how well the offensive line is playing? Could you see guys getting in a rhythm? Because I do think at times they'll want to have the ability to play with some pace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see that for sure. And that's going to be right in the hot hand. But I think again, like we talk about, I think having the offensive line or the expectations of the offensive line and what we believe this offensive line could be, if they play up to that caliber, it's easier for a young guy like Jamal Rule to find that rhythm. It's easier for an inexperienced guy like Isaiah Mosey to find that rhythm. Heck, it might even be easier for a guy like Tiki Hayes, who is new to the program and still figuring it out, to a couple games into it. He's got the hot hand, and they can kind of ride that out because they know they're going to be. He's going to have at least
we saw Nelson in the bowl game that first couple drives when it was with pace, right? Rhythm.
Right. So I absolutely see that. I can be sold on that. I think I can be sold on that.
Sorry, I'm trying to find a number for you here real quick, Tim, about the number of total red zone rushing touchdowns allowed, and it's horrifying. So it looks like Nebraska gave up 24 total rushing touchdowns in the red zone. We know 10 of those were to quarterbacks last year. That is 5th worst in the country.
Man.
That's why I think it's again, this isn't for, we're just giving context on how it doesn't have to be so doom and gloom when you just look at 25 to 26. Like, there's plenty of room for improvement, and I don't think it's real rocket science. That's the point. You know what I mean? Because the more staggering the numbers are, the more I'm thinking, hey, you guys just didn't believe.
Yeah, there's a sense there, right? Like, it's weird. There's an area in sort of the middle where you're like, oh, you just might not be good enough, right? Like, if the numbers look a certain way, whereas if they're so bad, this reminds me a lot of like late stage Bobby Bowden, where you knew they had the guys, right? You're watching Florida State, you're like, they have guys all over the place. Those guys are still going to the NFL. We're watching these dudes. And you're watching it, though, and they're getting their head kicked in by North Carolina State or somebody. And you're like, what the hell is happening here? And you very easily could say, hey, this is a coaching issue. This is a schematic issue, whatever. I kind of felt that same way with Nebraska last year. Not to the same extent, right? Like, they weren't recruiting at a peak Bobby Bowden level. But you're looking around, you're like, okay, it's not like Minnesota's out-athleting them. It's not like, it's not like Michigan State is just out-athleting them or anything like that. Or Maryland when they're going and turning that thing into a shootout. Or even, like the only teams that really looked like they out-athleted Nebraska in terms of games that we thought were winnable were like Penn State and Utah, right? Penn State and Utah just looked better, right? But all those other games I'm looking at, I go, even Michigan to a certain extent, even though they had the long runs, I didn't look at Michigan and be like, oh my God, that team's so much better than we are.
I can't remember who I told this to him. Maybe it was on a pod. The question came up about winning game or question. No, it was Channel 7. I was talking to Lauren Michelson and on the preview, and she asked me for a positive and a question. And the positive, I think I went with the offensive line playing their versatility. I think scheme-wise, I'm fascinated by the running schemes, especially with a dual threat quarterback and multiple styles in the backfield. Like, I'm very intrigued by what that'll look like. But I said the other thing this may catch you off guard is it's the amount of connectivity that Nebraska has to play with defensively to win games on the road, because I think that's about being connected. It's not so much about, ooh, I've got a dude here or I've got a dude here. It's when you can be so connected that it doesn't take the wind changing direction to get you that far off kilter.
Yeah.
And we've seen this with this program for years. This isn't just a Coach Rule thing. It drives me crazy that we still talk about one onside kick changing the trajectory of a season. Like, it shouldn't be that way, right? Like, you should be able to overcome something like this, no matter how horrific we think it is, because it's in the moment. We got to be able,
especially when you still have the lead afterwards.
Well, you got to be able to give up a 3rd and 11 to Penn State without it ruining the rest of the game, right? Like, you have to. If that's my biggest question, can they get to a point where you stop checking the rearview mirror and you dust it off and just line it up and play it again? Like, could I convince you of that being a dramatic change without even beginning to talk about personnel?
Yeah, just from what we've heard and seen with this offensive group, the line, the receivers, and how they've gelled with Calandria, the running back room, and how they've, how they kind of understand. I can buy into it. It's going to be but the thing with connectivity and culture and all of that is you won't really know what you have until it's truly tested, and it won't truly be tested till the fall. But I was going to note on that rushing stat in the red zone, and it relates to this because I think connectivity on the defensive side, of course, matters as well. How many of those
overall?
Yeah, for sure. But how many of those 24 rushing touchdowns came on a drive in which Nebraska let up a third and medium where they were like, let's get off the field here. They riled themselves up to get off the field, and then they don't get off the field. And it's like, well, they're scoring here. You kind of saw that from that defense last year, where if they weren't able to get off the field on a third and medium, they kind of not quit, but it was like, okay, well, the effort's not there, and the confidence has dropped off compared to what it was on that third down play, and you weren't able to make the play, and now you're you're kind of on your heels a little bit.
Yeah, they felt defeated. Just to round out the red zone stats here defensively, Nebraska 38 red zone trips allowed, which put them in like the 80s, I believe, for red zone trips allowed, but they gave up 37 scores, so they only got one stop in the red zone the entire year. Here's the number that kills you. 30 of the 37 scores were touchdowns. 30 of the 37 scores were touchdowns. That's the number that absolutely kills you. Because I'll be honest with you. If you could leave it at 37 out of 38 attempts, and if you end up getting like a 50-50 split on field goals versus touchdowns, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fascinating.
You know what? If that goes to 15 and 15 or 37 total scores, so like 18 and 19, right? Instead of 30 and 7, you're probably fine.
Yeah, for sure. That's the margin. Those are the points. Yeah. Again, I'm trying to do the math in my head real quick, but absolutely. I
mean, if you're basically giving up 4 fewer points a game, it would be 12 touchdowns that you don't give up. You give up a field goal instead. It's 4 fewer points a game, essentially.
Yeah, essentially. That helps. That helps. And I think we've talked ourselves in so many circles. I don't even remember which one I picked in the first place, but I'm at the point too where I'm like,
it happens, man.
But I'm at the point, where I'm at the point where
it happens.
Yeah. I think it's defense. I think defense and that improvement. Yeah.
To your point though, Tim, is with the third. I don't even know what's happening.
Listen, do you know why, Tim? Timmy Neutron is like shaking his head at me. He's like, this dude is nuts.
Because I do this to you all the time.
Yes. I started with the premise yesterday. I go, the easy thing is for people to say offense. Hey, they need to be better in the red zone. But when it has context and you put everything together, like if you just stop giving up as many touchdown or like just those chunk explosive plays, it changes dramatically. We didn't even get into the punting detail about. We had 4 punts where you pin teams inside the 20
the whole year.
4, Tim. But we never talk about special teams. We never talk about like we do, but we don't. Not in that vein. Like if you just simply punt the ball better after your offense has moved the ball,
because that's what Iowa does, right? They get 2 first downs, they punt the ball, they pin you deep, they play defense, right? That's Iowa.
That's a beautiful example. And you know what the difference is, TV? Because we always roll our eyes when we talk about emotions. You know how Iowa does it to you? They'll move the ball, the offense will stall. Ferentz in his head is like, fellas, this is a win. This is a win. They punt the ball.
It's a confidence.
It is, because that's what happens.
And they've conditioned themselves.
And they pin you deep, and then you're discouraged. You don't move the ball. You punt it again.
Now they
move it a little
40.
further.
Yeah.
Then they start you closer to your goal line, and then it's like, oh God, this is miserable. I see what they're doing.
And if it's for on your end, if you're like you're Iowa, you're like, this is how we win. This is how we want to play, and we're officially in how we want to play territory. Yeah, that the comfort's there. The confidence is there because they are exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, then like go look at Minnesota, right? The offense, you'll move the ball a little bit, then you punt it, and it's like, wait a second, that's all the further we're punting it. And then the defense is a little discouraged. Then Minnesota will matriculate a little bit, didn't generate any points.
And then you start further back.
It's still a 1-score game at the half. Then you start, like over time, when you're not a confident bunch, it just erodes you. But it's a mindset.
Well,
we make this about, well, this player wasn't good and they need to do. But sometimes, man,
Iowa's conditioned themselves to say, hey, if we get 2 first downs and pin you deep, that's a win, right? They've conditioned themselves to say, hey, if we don't allow you to get those 2 first downs back and make you punt, that's a win, right? Because now we start at the 35 instead of the 20, and now our 2 first downs get us to your 40 instead of, right? Like it's the ultimate battle of attrition in football, where Iowa has they execute it at a super high level.
Dude,
that's number one.
Minnesota does it to them all the time.
Minnesota executes it at a super high level, and then you've got a team that is conditioned to believe that what they're doing not just is going to lead to a win, but they've already accomplished something.
Yeah.
Right? Like when they get 2 first downs and then pin you deep, like that to them, feels like a score.
Shoot, even the fan base can see it.
Yeah.
Like we can see what's
Iowa
happening.
Fans love that. Iowa fans lose their minds when they pin somebody deep.
It's like, we just do this twice, and next time we get the ball, we'll be in field goal range.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think, at the same time, as we talk about all of this, I don't think Nebraska should want to or wants to be that kind of team.
I just say that from a psychological standpoint.
For sure. But yes, for sure. From
just how it impacts your mind.
Like, I think what has to happen, but what has to happen there is, and where I think these wires and how that switch turns on is every time Iowa pin someone deep. It's not just the fact that they've obviously conditioned the offense to believe that's great or whatever, to believe the team to believe that's great. They believe they've conditioned that defense to say, okay, we're getting off the field here, we're winning. Like, we're getting off the field in 3 plays. And that's the flip that needs to switch, I think, for Nebraska, is that confidence across the unit of, 1, we're pitting these guys deep more, and 2, when we put the defense out there, and I'm talking, I'm sorry, I say we, I've said that a lot today, but with Aurich in particular, I'm always just kind of whatever. But with Aurich in particular, I think that it's setting that mentality of, when they're pinned deep, they're not getting out of that area. You know, they're not crossing the 50. Whatever that looks like, you have to set something there where these guys take pride in making sure they don't cross the 50, making sure they don't cross it, whatever that looks like for them, the 40, making sure they're not crossing into enemy territory. I don't think it's necessarily you have to incentivize these guys. They know what this is, but it's installing that confidence. Because I don't know if I don't think for Nebraska, playing that way offensively is success is a model of success for them. I mean, they have to score, and
yeah,
I mean, that's obvious, but they have to score. Like, they can't be in a position where they feel confident winning games off 2 first downs and a punt. They have to, yeah.
But when you end up in that position, you still have to execute it in a level that's
correct. That's the difference. Is when you're in those positions, when you're in the punts, make sure those punts are pinning them deep, not landing at the 50, not landing at the 40, and giving them half. As we've been talking about this, it did just click for me. Something we never really, I felt like we never really talked about enough with last year's team and last year's defense when we were grading that defense, was how many times they were given a short field and forced to defend a short field. They were never, and we just talked about it with the stats, but they never really had that breathing room like we talked about, that punting can create.
It's Tim VERGHESE, Inside Nebraska. Tim, great stuff as always. Thanks for letting us keep you for like an hour today. We appreciate it.
Hey, this is great, man. I really appreciate it.
It's a blast, man. I like it. I appreciate you, TV. Thanks for letting us stretch you.
We'll talk to you next week.
Of course. We'll talk next week.
That's Tim VERGHESE from Inside Nebraska. Let's take a quick break here. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. For all the nonsense in the first hour, we got real football in the second hour. So there you go. It's called balance.
Man, I like stuff like that.
I do too. That was a really fun conversation with Tim. I'm sure we'll get that clipped out and on the YouTube and stuff as well. So that is hour number 2. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live after this, and we'll talk to Stephen M. Sipple here in a little bit.
Was he 9:10?
I think he's like 9:10, 9:15,
whenever Marcellus.
I've got a new one for him.
Okay.
Based on
don't tell me
some of my adventures from this week. I have a new name for Stephen M. Sipple. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be right back here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Everyone's talking about peptides.
you are doing it right. At NextGen Male Medical Clinic, peptide treatments are clinician guided, tailored to your goals, monitored for safety. Call today or visit nextgenmmc.com.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
And then we moved to the farm, and that's when he took like remnants of Rosenblatt Stadium. Like the dirt was all from Rosenblatt. The scoreboards and stuff he made from like plywood and stuff, like treated plywood, but he painted like the last out at Rosenblatt on one of the scoreboards. One of the scoreboards was for chalk for us to keep score. We liked the Yankees kind of growing up, so we had a Yankees logo, Storm Chasers logo, Royals logo because we liked the Royals, and maybe a Rosenblatt logo on the fence. That was pretty cool. Foul poles. We had a pitcher's dummy. Like when you're throwing a bullpen, you have a little dummy next to in the batter's box. We took one of those from Rosenblatt and we named him Ed. And we drew a mustache on him and a goatee and stuff, and he was our only fan in right field. There's Ed out in right field. And then, yeah, all the home plate, that was from Rosenblatt. That was dug out of the ground at Rosenblatt, and that was our wiffle ball home plate. The pitcher's mound, that was from Rosenblatt, dug out of Rosenblatt. That was our rubber.
How did he get all this stuff?
Well, he's on the grounds crew, so you.
So they were like, they kind of.
I mean, the stadium got tore down, and there's a lot of stuff that's just like it's getting thrown away.
Wow.
It's like, wow, I'm gonna take that and make a field out of it, sort of thing. And then we had some bleacher chairs and stuff. I know everyone in Omaha probably has a couple of those. They were up for auction, so yeah, it was a really cool field to play at.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
The last 8 months have been a whirlwind. They've been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of exciting times. Couldn't be more pleased with the way it's gone, the work that's been put in. Obviously, a lot of unknowns heading into the 2026 football season with near 80 new players on our deal, not almost an entirely new staff, but a lot of excitement, a lot of work has been put in, and can't wait to talk about our Razorback team today.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ, reminding you to give our friends over at Next Gen a call, 402-614-9700. Whether you're trying to lose a little weight, get a little edge back, a little pep in your step, they've got you covered no matter what you need. Whether you're out here doing DB stuff, training people, running stairs, all kinds of
sticking 20-foot landings.
Definitely not doing that, but they can help you recover after both your legs break. Or if you're out trying to play some tennis tournaments like me, they've got you covered, and they'll get you in great shape no matter what you need. 402-614-9700. Give our friends a call. They will treat you really, really well. They're terrific to work with.
Hey, let me ask you something.
What's up?
Just bend those knees. You'll stick that landing.
You got hold on. I need you to say it like Dana Altman would say. You got to bend your knees, fellas.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Ryan Silverfield's kind of fascinating.
Yeah, he's very seemed pretty businessy.
That's, I think, low key one of the hardest jobs in the country, Arkansas.
Yeah, it's. I agree.
I think it's one of the hardest jobs in the country.
It's kind of like being in purgatory.
Yes, because you have unreasonably high expectations from the fan base. I think that Arkansas thinks they are in the same category as Texas, Oklahoma, like their old Southwest Conference mates, and they're not. Right? That's just not who they are.
And you lost 100 one-score games last year, so you probably feel like, man, I know we should be better.
We're close, right? Yeah. We've heard that before, haven't we? The expectations are really high.
What are you talking about?
The talent level in state is actually not great. I'm looking at the 2027 recruiting rankings for Arkansas, the state of Arkansas right now.
Yeah.
They don't have a single top 150 player in their state. Their highest rated recruit, according to 24/7, is a 3-star. And they only have, I believe, based on these rankings, it only goes to 16. So it's not like a Georgia or one of these places has 100 guys rated in their state, right?
Yeah.
I think we think, hey, they're in the Southeast. They must have really good access to local talent. Well, if you go into Texas, everybody goes into Texas, and you're not nearly top of the recruiting board.
And don't they have doesn't
for
the state,
Texas?
I'm guessing here, so don't make fun of me. You got what's population's got to be over 3 million, right?
For Arkansas?
Yeah.
Let's give it a look here. Arkansas population. I would guess like 3 or 4.
4's high.
Is in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They've got a few kind of city centers like Fayetteville, Little Rock. Apparently my internet's not going to work today. That's fine. 3.1.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3.1 million people. Not a great talent base for a team in the Southeastern Conference. Maybe probably the worst. Tennessee's better, right? Anecdotally.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina's better.
Yes. About Mississippi State.
Mississippi? Okay. Let me see what Mississippi has. Internet, you are killing me, homie. Mississippi recruiting rankings. That would be one that's interesting to see. I'll look up Tennessee as well, because I'm a little more hesitant on Tennessee than maybe is off the jump.
You know what's funny is, not to go down this Bugs Bunny hole, but I remember this was a long time ago, because I think Severe was my partner, and we were talking about the misnomers about recruiting places, and I somehow Tennessee came up.
Mississippi's pretty good
with rankings.
Mississippi's really, and there's a lot of them.
Nice. Okay.
I'm down to, holy cow. Oh wait, no, this is not right. Sorry. Continue.
I think it's kind of a misnomer about Tennessee, because whoever we had on as a guest was somebody said the high school football wasn't great.
I think we think it's better than it was kind of my.
And I just kind of remember this being a thing, because this was back on the heels of what schools should be better than they really are. We were talking like DePaul basketball, Tennessee football, like there were all these things that came up, and kind of the misnomers about recruiting the Chicago area. And like we went through this fascinating exercise. And how come you can't Google?
So Mississippi has 48 guys that are at least 3 stars. So 3 times what Arkansas does. 10 of them are 4 stars. And they have, let's see. They have 6 guys in the top 200. So Mississippi's significantly
that's
better
fascinating
than what Arkansas is. Let me find Tennessee real quick.
What did my man Corn Raider say? Corn Raider says,
can you bring it up on the screen, guys?
DB, I gave it some thought, and I totally think you can make that jump and should prove to everyone else. Put it on live. So that's dumb. I can't believe I fell for that. I thought it was actually something positive, but I didn't read it all the way through.
It's almost certainly never the case.
I can give you some
Corn Raider,
positive.
I believe you were kind of being facetious.
Oh, Tennessee's got 72.
Okay.
And they're pretty significant. They've got 16 4-stars, and they've got 9 guys in the top 200. So that's even better.
That's getting better.
Yeah, that's even better than Mississippi. So
I can give you something positive.
What do you got, Shano?
I got you one Stephen M. Sipple.
Oh, he's here.
Stephen Menelaus Sipple. How we doing this morning, buddy?
Menelaus, huh? Big Odyssey guy.
Yeah, I went with the Odyssey on him this morning.
Oh, I'm not even sure what that means, but thanks, guys. Good morning. Can you hear?
Shane, Sip, you are a classic. But I'm guessing you're not a classic mythology guy.
Mythology? No. Vague awareness of what that even is.
Where are you headed, Sip? Are you just leaving 93.7 the ticket?
Yeah, I'm sitting outside, right? Yeah, I'm just still downtown outside. You guys know where the theater is, right? Downtown. Certainly you know where the theater is.
Yeah.
That's where I'm parked, and that's where I'm going to do this interview from.
Sip, how encouraged are you that Sean Gascan Callahan has taught you how to use your headphones?
It's very helpful. Has
it been liberating?
I don't know about I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is definitely helpful in this sort of setting. I can hear you better. I don't have to strain to hear, You're getting to the age, I don't know what Ravi is, but you're getting to the age where hearing and all of that is a factor.
Okay. Sip, I just like to share with you.
Sip, we need to get our guy. We need to get our guy to an eye doctor. That's more important than the hearing. He needs to get an eye exam. He can't see.
I can hear just
Damon.
fine.
He can't read.
Yes, Steven.
What you're saying? Damon can't see?
Yeah, he can't see for anything. He's got like 18 different pairs of readers.
Now, careful, Sip, because you've lost more pair of readers than I've purchased, and right now you're clearly looking through the bottom of your glasses. So I don't know if your readers are working correctly either.
No, these are just straight readers. They look like nice glasses, but they're.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
God dang! I mean, you buy readers now. It used to be you just go into Walgreens, plop them on the desk, and you buy 3 for like $10 at the most. 3 for $75 the other day.
Oh no, see, that's extortion. I have 3 pair in
extortion. That's extortion.
Sip, I have 3 pair in my bag, and they cost me about $22.
Okay,
that's one of them I got in Vegas at a Whole Foods.
Hey, Ravi, you get them where you can. Trust me.
No, so the play is because my dad uses readers.
Gray ones.
You gotta get them off Amazon.
How you feel about these, Steven?
Hold
you like these?
Hold on, I can't see you.
I'm waiting for these guys to pay.
Oh God, you are. Those are nice.
I guess we're all just putting glasses on. These are prescription, like normal prescription though.
Yeah, mine are not. So these are durable too, so I can like move and I don't feel like they're gonna break. I thought you used to wear the chain like old women where you didn't want to lose your glasses. I think I used to. Glasses aren't crooked.
I used to have that thing where like the rope or whatever it was. I did. I tried that for a while. I don't know. I don't now. I'm down to like 3 or 4. I do have. I'm looking at some others in my truck. I'm good right now. I need to be good. Yeah.
So I want you to be careful with the snide comments because you always said I need to get in your weight class before you got in the ring with me. I'm just telling you, I'm coming. So
are you at 210 yet?
Close.
Oh, you're pretty close, aren't you?
Close.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm at
don't let me catch you in Chicago because you already know how it's going down the first couple of minutes. I see.
I don't know. The thing I always say that 30 pounds is a lot. I mean, I'm not giving away 30. I mean,
if you're not 180.
Oh, I'm probably a little lower than 180. I mean, yeah, I'm up at 178.
Oh,
I'm not.
geez.
Yeah, I'm not going. That's 30 pounds is ridiculous. I mean, if I was, when I was a boy and I was fighting and you were giving away 3, it was a lot. I mean,
Oh God, you wiener.
Anyway,
you're such a wiener. So we've been
wiener.
Well, I
Wiener.
I don't say. Wow, he's making fun. I don't say a lot of
like swear words.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. But so
except for on accident where you're talking about your backyard.
It's not what I said.
Hey, Ravi, he doesn't swear a lot. He does.
No,
I
know I'm in trouble when he starts swearing at me. I know that's what I've crossed.
Yeah. They almost drove me to drink on the show this week. So,
like, why? What happened?
Oh, they just were being children's and.
Well, I like to give DB a hard time. That's kind of part of our dynamic here, and sometimes I have a hard time finding the line.
He has joke Tourette's.
I do have joke Tourette's. Like if
do you?
Yeah, he can't help himself.
If I think something's really funny and I think it in my head, it is almost impossible for me not to say it out loud.
And when you combine that with his level of immaturity and his lack of self-awareness, it's a recipe for disaster.
It's a tough combo, Sip. I'm struggling over here.
No, you're doing fine, Robbie. You're doing fine.
Sip, we've been having some fascinating conversations. We try to take these like deep dives into things, and we talk numbers and data because I think you hear this a ton, especially on your message board. It's right. Well, my forecast for the 2026 season is blank because of last year, and then they'll look at last year and they'll say, "Ooh, this is the pause for concern," because they'll see some of the same names. So we've spent the last 2-3 days,
last couple days,
trying to give this some context.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you some rushing statistics that our man Jimmy Neutron came up with last year. But I'm going to ask you a question first.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many rushing touchdowns Nebraska gave up last year?
Gave up.
How many times did a team hand the ball off or run it in with their legs on Nebraska for 6 points?
I don't know. My guess would be 15.
Times 2 minus 1.
Okay, 29.
20. Very good, Sipple.
Okay, how do you feel about that number?
It's higher than I thought. But let me expound just one more question before we give you the data. How many of those do you think were by a quarterback?
29 out of 29.
Yeah.
Half, 15, 14.
Austin, drum roll, please.
I thought you. Oh, am I supposed to say it? Sorry.
No, you're supposed to put the stat up.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Give me a sec. Listen, we're working hard here.
I was teeing you up. Sip, which one of the? Look at how about that, Sip?
I don't see it. See it.
I'll read it off for you.
Read it off.
11 rushing touchdowns by quarterbacks.
Okay, not far off then. Good.
An average of 9.2 yards per rushing touchdown.
Ooh, wouldn't have guessed that.
Is that high or low for you?
High.
High, me too.
And here's the part that's really going to mess with your head, Sip. Only one of those touchdowns rushing by a quarterback started outside of the red zone.
Oh, wow.
So it's not like they're skewed by like a bunch of quarterback sneaks and then a bunch of 40-yarders. All but one of those were 16 yards or less. The only one over that is 37 yards by Bryce Underwood. So Nebraska was just getting gashed in the red zone by quarterback run game.
That's trouble. I mean, it shouldn't be easy in the red zone. You shouldn't get gashed in the red zone. You shouldn't. Right? It should be hard. It should be tough sledding.
Yeah, it's more condensed, right? It should be significantly more difficult in the red zone.
Should be tough sledding.
So Steven, stay with me here just for a sec. So they got 18 by running backs at 17.2 every touchdown on average.
That's high. That's really high.
Really high. So you look at the numbers and you're kind of startled. I look at it and I say just the opposite. I'm like, oh, that's definitely fixable. It almost has to get better by default. right? Do you think is my glass half full, or is that how
No,
you look at it?
No, I kind of look at it that way too. I mean, I'd be a little more troubled if, if teams were just able to grind away in that area, in the red zone, in that deep red zone. So, no, I agree. I think it's very fixable.
So you're on the page that, let me make sure I'm summarizing correctly, that like lapses are easier to fix than deficiencies.
You got it. I think if a team, like I just say grinding away. If they're grinding away in that area, in that red zone area, that concerns me more than lapses.
Don't you get the sense, though, that when we talk about how negative we feel about 2026, that we think it's something other than these statistics? Or do you think we just don't know the statistics and so we just talk?
I think a little bit of that. I mean, so much, you know how it goes. So much of the conversation about, oh, we're talking about 26 now. I don't know I don't necessarily feel negative about it. I don't. So
you don't think the tenor is negative?
Oh, I think the tenor's pretty negative, but and it's my job to keep track of the tenor, but my tenor's not that
I thought
negative.
you were going to say to perpetuate it. I was like,
no.
Well,
No. I'm very open-minded. I'm not. I tried just to stay right down the middle this time of year. I got an open mind, not open mind to the extent that I would think they're going to win 10, or I think they're only going to win 2. I'm not that open-minded, but I'm open-minded generally speaking. So I would not say I'm negative.
Are you surprised that so much of the talk centers around defensive line and stopping the run when Nebraska plays with 5 defensive backs too?
No. I'm not surprised. I mean, they gave up 4.82 yards per carry last year. You can't explain that away. I mean, I hope you don't. I hope you don't, because
I don't.
Because of what Kirby Smart said this week in the most telling comments of SEC media days. You can talk about all this stuff we talk about, NIL, transfer portal, what Congress is doing, but what his job is and will always be is to run the ball and stop the run. That's what you got to do in the SEC to win. I don't think the conversation should be that much different in the Big Ten, or is that much different. That's the core of what we should always think about. Run the ball and stop the run. That's what Kirby said. That's not Sipple. That's Kirby Smart, who's won 2 national titles and is always in contention.
Sip, when you're looking at, we've been doing a lot of red zone talk here over the last couple days, and if you're looking at red zone offense versus red zone defense, I can give you some context in terms of numbers, but off the blush, which one would you say, hey, this is more important for them to fix, to be on the optimistic end of what you're thinking for 2026?
I'd start with defense in that conversation. I don't know, Ravi. I don't know if I'm answering your question completely, but the reason I say that is I'm a little more confident in the offense. Now, they haven't been great in the red zone, but I think that I'm just generally speaking, I'm pretty confident in that side of the ball. And the defense, I think, has a lot to prove. So I'm more interested in the defense in that conversation.
So the stats would back you up. They were second to worst in the country defensively in giving up scores in the red zone. They gave up 37 scores in 38 trips, and 30 of those were touchdowns.
You can't keep doing that, right?
Yeah, that's amongst the worst the very worst in the country.
And they still finished 7-6. I mean, that's pretty good in that regard, right?
So, yeah. So could I know I get accused of being positive, but
I get accused of being positive. It's not a bad accusation, all right?
Well, when you coach, that's always going to be I'm not going to resign myself to anything, right? Just, well, you guys did this. And I'm like, well, shoot, why do we show up and coach if we're just going to rest in it, right? Like,
right.
The goal is to try to get better. So the more context I give you, or we give you, data-wise, it wouldn't be very hard convince you to change what's doable in 2026, would it?
No, not at all. I'm not. I am not really overly impacted by the 2025 stats. Like, I don't necessarily look at it and say, here's what they did in 2025. Expect this in 2026.
But are you surprised that we do that? Because a lot of it will be the same personnel in terms of what we didn't go out and get. This is probably more a D-line thing.
Yeah, I think that's what you're getting at. And really, yeah, it's pretty D-line specific because they changed linebacker. The linebackers room changed dramatically. So yeah, I get it from that standpoint.
Sip, if you were to end up on the optimistic end of whatever you think your realistic range is, right? You said probably not 10, so that, we'll kind of put your whatever realistic cap you have on the season. What are you looking at in terms of like 2 or 3 of the biggest factors in your mind of like, hey, if these things go well, that's how they get to the optimistic end of the range?
Hold up well against the run. That you don't have to shut down running teams, but think about those big games they have, like against Indiana, when Indiana comes in here, and think about what Indiana did to Alabama, where they just ravaged them. They just said, we're going to run it. And you're not going to stop us. You can't have that happen, because if that happens in Lincoln against Indiana, it could happen in Austin Stadium against Oregon. And then where are you? Where at that point? You can't have that happen. I think that's the critical thing. I think it might be the most critical thing because of the way the schedule sets up. I think you can get to 5-0, but if those two teams come in and Cignetti just says, we're going to do to Nebraska on its home field what we did to Alabama, then it's trouble in part because of what happens the next game where you're going to Autzen, and Oregon they can hammer away at you too. So yeah, I'd start with that. Then of course you go to quarterback and what that all looks like. And then I just extend to Dana. I think it's a big season for Dana Holgorsen. I think he has some materials. Now, how does he make it work? I think you maybe can make it work at a pretty high level, but he's got to, there's got to be a good overarching plan. And those are the 3 things I think of first. You should never gloss over special teams, especially under new leadership. That would probably be number 4.
Sip, let me ask you, if, how much of being a year older and different voices in the room from a coaching standpoint do you think will matter? You don't have to really give it a number, but how much do you think it'll matter?
Head coach?
Different voices.
Head coach?
No, players.
How much a year older some of the key guys, how much that matters?
And a different voice.
In the coaching, like which positions are we talking about?
Well, to pick one. You've got secondary with Yelk. You've got Corey Brown. You've got Manning. You've got Teasley. You've got Jeep Wade. You've got Aurich. Just being a year older and having different voices.
It's hard. The reason I stumble on it is because what I always tell you, I try not to generalize. And what I'm saying is different players are going to react differently to those. Now
you want to play it all milk toast. You being serious right now, Sip?
No, I think different players do react differently to different situations. Now, I would just take, like, in that conversation, to me, Aurich is easily the most important. And now how the players respond to him, I don't know. We'll see. But I'll tell you one thing. His track record, I just was looking at it this week. His first year, when his first year coordinating a defense at all his different stops have been magnificent. And that goes back to, I can't say, it's Bemidji State. Bemidji State.
There you go, buddy.
First year as a coordinator was excellent. Idaho, when they made him the coordinator, it was excellent. San Diego State, when he moved into the coordinator role, big improvements each stop. I imagine he sold that to Phil Snow and to Matt Rule. God dang. I mean, so his word must resonate well and quickly with players. At least that's what his track record shows. So if I'm a Nebraska fan, I'm watching that close and I'm looking at those places, all different levels. Bemidji State's NCAA Division II, Idaho's FCS. So now San Diego State's a group of 6. There's no football's football in my mind. Not everybody thinks like that, but football's football. If he can take that and do something similar at Nebraska, where there's profound statistical improvement and just profound improvement in general, that would be great. So he's the most important in that discussion, but I just don't know how everybody's going to react to him. You just don't know till you see it.
Sip, you mentioned earlier that you kind of just have a larger overall confidence in the offensive side of the ball.
I do.
What leads you to be able to make that statement?
I mean, it always starts up front, and there's a lot. You guys talk a lot about that. There's a lot of promise there. I tend to go a little bit more to the receiver room, I think, than a lot of people do.
Okay.
That's the first.
I'll say we haven't heard that yet.
We haven't heard this yet.
Please elaborate.
I love that room. I've heard great things about Gilmer this summer, Quasi, and of course you have. I love now. See, I'm a big Isaiah Hunter guy.
Yeah. Well, you'd like his temperament.
Yeah, I do. You're right.
Very no nonsense. He's tough. Like he's kind of a put up or shut up guy. Like you'd gravitate towards that.
Yeah, I could sense it when I've seen him, and he looks like a running back kind of. He's a big, strong receiver.
He's mean.
He's a little mean. He's got a mean streak. Jacory's very explosive and very much a threat. I think Quinn Clark obviously is ready to break out. So you got 4 there. God, Damon, you guys reported that thing about Carter Nelson the other day. That's fascinating to me, and I'll tell you what, I get excited thinking about it a little bit.
I have to say this again because I have one guy in the chat that is he's really, really literal, right?
Yeah.
So I want to say this again. When I was talking about the emergence of Carter Nelson, being in the top 6 or 7 pass catchers, and my man Tater said, "Does Holgorsen know how to throw it to tight ends? Does he know how to find tight ends?" And I said, "He's not playing tight end." And then it was, Carter Nelson's not playing tight end. So then I tried to go back and elaborate a little where when you put him in a move position, I'm not talking about, because I said he's such a tough cover. I said, I think the guys will tell you he's a very tough cover. When you put him on the backside of like 12 personnel, when he's opposite, like say Luke Lindemeyer, and they put him on the move and he's out in space. I don't consider that coming from a tight end spot. So yes, I do think Holgorsen can find that guy because he's a very tough matchup. I look a lot at like Colston Loveland when he explodes. Yes, he's listed as a tight end and use him a lot like a traditional tight end. But to that point, so that was the gist of the discussion. But to that point, I do think, because I was slow to come around on him, not because I didn't think he was a good player, but I'd seen enough in high school. It didn't have anything to do with that. It's transitioning.
Didn't think he was ready.
He just wasn't ready, right? Spatial awareness, the physicality, concepts. That would be like you changing my numeric system. Like if I only use 10 numbers and all of a sudden you give me 30 numbers or whatever, that would be the degree of going from 8 to 11, in my opinion, at the speed in which the game was played. So it's just going to take time, especially when I'm used to just being bigger and faster and better than everybody else. Like those days are over, right? So I just thought the process. But if you ask me like who I think is one of the guys that's come the furthest, I feel really, really, really safe in saying it's Carter Nelson. Now, is he going to emerge into a breakout player? But in terms of pass catchers, Oh yeah, I put him in the top 6 or 7 right now.
Yeah, and I think he can be a
Cortez
dangerous.
Mills is in there. You know, you remember you get Bonner back. That's important. You have Lindemeyer. You have Echternach, who, if I remember right, you've seen Echternach up close, right? Big guy.
Yeah.
Except I think he ran high 4.5s.
Yeah, he's got something. See, all those.
You look at Ingerson, who was working with a lot of the top unit. Like I like that room quite a bit because I think they have versatility. You don't have to use them traditionally.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting back to Dana. He's got pieces now. He's got enough. Running back, I think there's enough there.
There's plenty.
Yeah, there's enough. There's definitely enough there. The addition helps certainly. I don't know what's going to happen with Mekhi Nelson, but there's plenty there. So and I love the way I don't know what it's going to look like ultimately, but I like what I imagine when I think of Calandria based on what I've seen and what I think they can do. So yeah, I have a lot of optimism about the offense.
Let me ask you something, because I say next it'll be, DB said they had plenty. Let me ask you a question to you this way, Sip. Going into 2026 versus going into 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
So pre-Emmett rushing being an All-America.
Right.
Which room, 2026's room or 2025 room, do you feel like you know more about?
I would say this. Probably this
What would you say?
Probably this room.
I agree.
And I feel better about this room.
I agree.
So that's the question I was going to ask.
I agree with you without even having to give you my, I think people think I'm crazy.
I have more confidence in the room as a whole this year than I did last year.
Me too.
I think the addition is big. I do think that's a big factor in that discussion, adding Mikey Harris.
I don't as much.
And I do for depth reasons. It's just a little bit more. It's a little bit more something. But yeah, with those guys, and I tend to do something. I'm glad you asked this question. I'm glad you let me talk. I don't always include Mosey in the discussion as much as I should. I always talk about, okay, I think Rule could start. If Mekhi's all good, if everything's okay, Mekhi Nelson could start. Mosey can start too. I mean,
that is how you text me. That's funny.
Yeah.
So
because you text every time, like lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you've brought him up yet.
No, I don't enough. But some of it is, I excuse myself a little bit based on what Barthel said during the spring, where it really was an aha moment for me, or a important moment when Barthel told us in the spring he didn't even think of Mosey as a running back last year. I didn't go that far in my thinking, but I would always be like, well, he's so new. I don't know. Can he run between the tackles? Does he have that kind of mentality? And then it all started to make more sense to me in the spring when Barthel said, I really didn't think of him as a running back last fall. This spring, I asked him to run between the tackles. And in the spring game, I'm sitting up there watching with the guys. I'm like, look at Mosey. Look at Mosey hammering away between the tackles. He's big. He's 210. Put him in that discussion. He can do. I think he can. He's viable. I mean, he's critical to the team. But sometimes, for some reason, I get caught up in the Rule, big back. I love Mekhi. I love the way Mekhi runs. So sometimes I just don't mention Mosey as much as I should.
So you know what's funny, Sip, is Mosey. I think I'm the only person I know that mentions Mosey first. I love that.
I
Good. Glad you do.
Listen, I almost fought him last year at the beginning of the season because he's right. Like, he kept trying to cram him down my throat, and I'm just like, I'm not ready yet. Like,
I love that dude,
and it's not because I don't like him, because I love him as he would we get along exceptionally well. It was because I know how hard it is to have only played running back for 1 year.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you of all people. I mean, you're a running back. I mean,
yeah, and I had only played it for 1 year.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like I don't know bleep, right? It's like, God, this is gonna take me a little bit.
Yeah.
The
position.
The Mosey part of it, I just look at the way I knew there was going to be a transition, right? Obviously, had never played running back before, but I look at the way he runs. He looked like he hates it.
Ask guys about trying to get him to the ground in space.
So that's what I was just going to say.
He's the worst.
He
man.
acts like he hates it when hates hitting the ground, and not in like a he doesn't want to be hit way, in like a how dare you try and tackle me way.
Well, he has exceptional balance, and he's mean. He's mean spirited.
Yeah, he runs angry.
Good.
I love it.
Good. That's
like
good.
that dude. He reminds me of and this is obviously I'm not saying he's this level of player right now, but he reminds me of if they had just let Deebo Samuel play running back.
Okay.
Because I watch a ton. I'm a 49ers fan. I watch a ton of the 49ers. They put him in the backfield a ton. Like when they just let him be the running back, that's what Mosey looks like.
Can you guys sip this? I just have to let me nerd out here for a second.
Please.
So the last quarter or couple series and a half in the spring game, we started to see some counter, right? Different variations of counter.
Yeah.
And all I could think of is, man, they've only had this in probably about a week of spring. I was getting like Georgia Tech vibes where quick hitters, splitting, counter trap, long counter, like where you could run like legit trap out of like one back with a quarterback running the ball. And I'm like, God, this is tailor made for downhill split it guys because they're quick hitters. And if you can't get to the perimeter with your back, you always have the QB in the run game. Like I'm fascinated by these guys in the concepts of how much I think this offensive line will be able to move. That's what's exciting for me.
Huge difference. I mean, I think the offense is going to look different even to to a layman with how athletic the line is. Now the quarterback obviously is going to look at that position, is going to look a lot different. So, yeah, I think you're going to see linemen out in space a little bit more. That counter game in itself is going to look – people are going to be like, oh, what is that?
It's just a headache to defend.
Right.
Like, look at SC's running game.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They're Riley's mastered the concept. It's how he recruits O-line. It's what he's at. Like, one-back run game –
that's where they could get to like their fourth back last year and be fine.
And then you sprinkle in quarterback run game, and next thing you know, Maava's going for 15, and you're like, wait a minute, he's not even a mobile guy. And it's like, yeah, that's what the eye candy does to you, though.
And it can happen here. With the personnel they have, it can happen here.
It just stresses the heck out of you.
Right. So that's why it all goes back to what I said. I'm very excited about the offense. I would say I'm very excited, but big year for Dana. I mean, I think in some ways, what am I getting at a little bit is I think the offense is going to have to carry the day a little bit. I mean, I think that you're going to have to lean on it a little bit. That's where I'm at going in. Obviously, everything can change once the games begin. And right now, as I sit here, I think the offense is going to have to carry a little bit.
You're a big Michael Jackson fan, Sip. You're not alone.
No, I'm really not, but go ahead.
You are not alone.
Hey, I will say this. I totally respect his talent. He's a freak talent. Okay.
Sip, speaking of freak talents, I'm gonna take one guy off the table because I think he's the most obvious answer. Outside of Pritchett, who do you think has the most pro potential on this roster?
Is it on the roster, not on a line?
Yeah, on the roster.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you just have to stay on the line and say Evans?
I mean, I'm open to thoughts.
I'd have to stay on the line and say.
Sip, do you watch offensive line close?
Not as closely as I don't watch it with a discerning eye. I've tried.
Who do you think's more athletic, Justin Evans or Mbanga?
I haven't seen enough of Mbanga. I'm not dodging your question.
Okay.
I know Mbanga's athletic though.
Yeah, like he's fascinating to me. He's a pro.
Okay, Mbanga, then maybe Mbanga's the answer. I mean,
I'm not leading you. I was just curious on your thoughts.
Hold on though. It's interesting to me that we've stayed on the line in that conversation, and I'd probably still stay there. Pritchett, maybe Mbanga, then Evans. Now, after that, when you go to skill, I would lean towards Hunter, but I mean, it's hard to get drafted, right? I mean, drafted high as a receiver, but he's got that kind of body and mindset and speed. And then I don't know where I'd go after that.
I'll say, how long does it take you to get to a defender?
Oh,
Next year it'll be a vastly different conversation.
Yeah,
I think
because look at the linebacker position. They're all juniors. All those guys, all those top guys are juniors.
All the secondary is pretty young.
You got a rash of young guys in the secondary too.
Rash of young guys, but when you stay at linebacker, Chambliss Jr., Foster Jr., Shavers Jr., your guys are juniors, which is exciting if you get them all back a year. What's Marshall pro? What's his pro potential?
Marshall's the correct answer. I just didn't want to have you.
He seems like the correct answer. He'll have to.
Marshall's getting drafted.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, based on what I've seen, he should have a great chance. Those are the answers, Ravi.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
You get Sip I think I heard Arch say this, where even when he came back to Nebraska, having had Marshall 2 years previous, I don't even think Arch thought Marshall had developed into the player that he is when he actually watched him this spring.
Is that right? Well, he's developed, and then that tells you there's some development there, right?
Well, you got a good cornerback coach.
Oh yes, you do. No, you do. It's overlooked.
We ever talk about this recruiting chops? We don't talk about how Sierra Wright turned into a lockdown. He got a pro look that tanked on his pro days and quit on Nebraska his last 8 games. Addison Williams can coach too. I think we forget that.
We forget it a little bit.
He's got Jeremiah Charles looking like Addison Williams could coach.
Yeah, and I think we overlook him a little bit because he's kind of a quieter guy under the
Very
radar.
much so.
Just sort of, he's not. I love his personality. I think you need personalities like him on a staff. You need all kinds, in my opinion, but he does bring you that kind of low key toughness, which I like.
I mean, there's a reason Danny Odom came to Nebraska.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, talk about value in a coach. I mean, he gets guys too. He gets big time guys.
All right, Steve-on.
That's our guy.
Wearing your war wounds like a crown. They call it Cal Steve-on.
That's impressive, Damon. That's impressive that you can go to Elton John.
Listen, I am an Elton John. Well, you got Elton John and Michael Jackson in the same reference. I want you to know you're not alone. And I want you to know that you wear your war wounds like a crown.
And we start.
Ravi, how do you do this? I don't.
What? It's just the opposite. How do I do it?
Ravi, God bless you for every day.
Here we go.
It's challenging. I mean,
for comments like that, Sip, I'm going to walk you down the Harold's Chicken in Chicago, and I'm going to leave you there. How about that?
Oh, all right, we'll try that.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, he's not with me.
Don't worry, Sip. I know some people in Chicago. I'll have them come pick you up. You'll be all right.
I'm surprisingly good.
It's too long a drive. He'll be dead by then.
I know Chicago people.
Have a good one, guys.
All right,
thank you, Sip. We appreciate it.
See you later.
Rico says he loves you, by the way.
You know, at this particular Harold's, that you have to slide your money under the deal, and they open the casing, and they don't sell you drinks. You get them out of the cooler to the side.
It's kind of like the gas station across from our hotel in Indy.
Wow. Yeah.
That was not a good part of town.
I was like, you check the expiration dates on there?
I was like,
you were just getting snipes.
I need some Imodium stat.
Man, that dirt looks amazing.
That's fine. Just here being a couple of optimists. No,
we love talking to Sip. That was good.
No, Sip's funny.
I have not the foggiest notion, Robbie.
Ravi, how do you do it? Is he on crack?
Don't mealy mouth me.
Listen, I think there are, for being self-aware here, I think there are things that both of us bring to the table that are challenging for the other one.
I'm a great singer. It's choppy vet. Do you know why we don't talk about Bonner enough?
I certainly do.
We forget. Yeah, you.
That's one of my guys. You know that.
I thought of you yesterday.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons was.
Okay.
I'm not a Bill Simmons guy, but there was a clip and he was talking about Caleb Wilson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's pretty big Caleb Wilson fan.
His friend. I try to keep it PG. I say things like, get you a paper towel.
Yeah.
Right? Bill Simmons said,
what did he say?
If I was a Chicago fan and I was watching Caleb Wilson in Summer League, I would lose all semen. It would just be constant. I was like,
From his deck?
We lost DB. He slid out of his chair.
Unbelievable. Dude hasn't talked for 40 minutes. And that's the first thing he says.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your
under
bottom
the window
lip,
seat. Oh, God. What an idiot. And I know what I said, AJ. I clearly said Dak. Cut it out.
No, there was Bill Simmons has been full on glaze train on Caleb Wilson.
Wow. How do you do it? How do I do it?
Like I said, I think there's parts of each of our that we bring to the table that are challenging for the other one. The problem is you also have to deal with Austin and Rico.
Plus,
I did nothing.
Plus, I think the audio skews it.
Rico, why don't you play it again? No. I'm just saying, if you're saying the audio skews it, we need to hear the audio.
Fine. Play the audio.
Or anytime now.
No, I'm not in a hurry. I'll tell you that right now.
I think Damon broke it.
Oh, did you break the audio? Come on, man.
Listen, I can barely walk and talk. You think I understand anything about the audio?
I don't at all.
Wow. Look.
No, I'm saying I don't at all.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
I thought you were doubling down very quickly on the fact that I'm inept.
No, I was agreeing with you that I do not know. Like, I don't know how to do anything.
What do you mean?
Like, people ask me sometimes, I was like, I don't know how to do anything to get the show on the air. 0%. I know how to talk. That's it.
I know what Suave needs to do with his top lip. That's for sure.
if you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. Sometimes shutting the fuck up is the best thing you can do.
I haven't said anything for like an hour and a half.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you.
Shane, stop pushing that goddamn button.
Cool, that's how I feel.
If you take your
95
top
times a
lip
day. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
It's all right.
I can't believe
it's all right.
From your deck.
Anyway, we're talking about Janarin Bonner and my affinity for Bonner.
Yeah.
But you're right. For the most part, he has been forgotten because
we
of the
forget
injuries.
that he's actually playing.
That's a guy. I mean, going back 3 years now, right? When whether it was Satterfield coming in as offensive coordinator, and I like the way he used some of the guys at South Carolina, I thought Bonner could be an important part of this offense. And he's never really been able to stay healthy at this point. If he is able to, like, that's a guy like Mosey and Bonner are guys that I think could be really, really interesting in this offense.
I know Tater said to you,
the lowest yards per carry. I don't care.
So that's just one of those, and he's not like he
did, sure. Yeah,
I mean,
it's about how he runs.
It's just how he communicates. Like he's very linear, which is fine.
But I like the way Mosey runs.
And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the types of runs he gets.
Mm-hmm.
They're very much gadgetry, unconventional.
Yeah,
they're not traditional style runs.
Yeah.
So you give him the same, like let him just run split zone.
Let him just be a running back.
Like
Last year
it would change the yards per carry. So he's not wrong because he just gives you a stat, but that's clearly somebody that isn't interested in the why.
Yeah.
It's just about the what. Yeah. The YPCs are low, but he gets the cutesy run plays because he's been the gadget guy.
Well, like you said, Barthel didn't really even consider him a running back last year. So he was only getting gadget type plays like a receiver would. When
Ja'Cory Barney's run yards per carry aren't low because he can't run.
Yeah. Because he gets these gadget plays.
Yeah, he gets jet
kind of
sweeps in
bust.
reverse. They're feast or famine.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's how I feel about Mosey. I think his ability, the way he runs, I just like his mentality. Like I want a running back that gets offended that you try and bring him to the ground.
Yeah.
Like that seems exactly how he carries himself.
Those big, strong, like he's bigger than me, I think.
And one of my favorite attribute about a running back is contact balance.
Yeah.
And he's got that in spades. Like he is really, really, and he's hard. You just talked about it with the guys in practice. He's hard to bring to the ground.
Yeah.
I will take that. I will take my chances with a running back like that.
And
that's not to say he's going to get more carries than Nelson or anybody else, but like I think he's going to be an important part of this offense.
We get Lindemeyer, Evans, and Marshall, right? They'll play it close to the vest. Because sometimes you can get a guy to kind of expound. Luke might.
Okay.
I have maybe a dumb question.
That's probably not true versus you just being dumb.
Well, it's just the way, I don't know if I'm trying to like word it correctly in my head. So because the running backs are more inexperienced, if your offensive line is as good as it is projected to be, how does that help them either get comfortable or learn the position better, if that makes sense?
One more time for me, Neutron.
Because the running backs are more inexperienced, does a good or projected elite offensive line help them get more comfortable or get better? Because I think that, like for me, like a general assumption would be if you have a great offensive line, it doesn't matter who the running back is, they should be able to get yards. But does that help in their development and they get better quicker because they're seeing stuff faster because those opportunities are there more?
That's not dumb at all. Because do you know what the knock on Nebraska running backs were on why they didn't for a while have huge NFL careers based on their collegiate career?
Because their offensive lines were too good?
Because their offensive lines were so good.
You get that with Bama, some to a certain extent with some of those guys.
That's not a dumb question. But what I would say is nothing helps more than repetition. Because even if your offensive line isn't elite, understanding how run plays are blocked and developed comes with time, right? I don't know how much time Mosey's got a super high football IQ, but I don't know how much he would understand. Hey, coming out of high school, listen, guard center are going nose, working their way to Mike. They're going to cut him off. It takes a little time. Have a little patience. Be smooth to the hole.
Or like pressing.
I can say those things, right? Or I can say, hey, listen, when we run counter trap, you can't bounce that because we're not blocking that guy. It's got to hit inside of him. And the first 6 times he's going to see it, it's going to look like
it's wide open to the outside.
It's wide open to the outside, and there's going to be somebody playing peekaboo. Like that, AJ, comes with reps.
Or learning how to like press the outside before you cut up.
Yeah.
To set yourself up for an 18-yard run.
Stay on your track until something gets you off.
Yeah.
And it's like, but wait a minute, I see that. And then you want to say to him, okay, do that a few times and let me know how that works out for you. You may break one, but it's not going to work more times than it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a combination of things, but it's always easier with a good offensive line.
Well, especially when you're young, I would guess.
I mean, there's no question about that. I'd rather have a good offensive line than be taking my lumps trying to get reps.
Is the easiest thing, I guess, if we want to get specific about it, is the easiest part about the difference is that they can see what's supposed to be there easier if you have a good offensive line?
Yes.
Like that's the biggest difference. It's just like, hey, it's easier to see. You don't have to find it as much when you're an inexperienced back.
Yeah. Easier.
Or cleaner.
That's
cleaner's what I mean. Yeah. Okay. That's the show for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla will be back on Monday. We will have hope you have a great weekend, and we'll have a great show for you as we get closer and closer not only to Big Ten Media Days, but the college football season just around the corner. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back on Monday.
Wait a second. Hey, Austin on cue. Can you do that like on cue, or do you need time?
I can do it. I don't think my voice is going to crack, so we should be fine.
We'll let it rip.
Rico, where you at?
See you. Have a good day. Love you.
We'll see you on Monday.